What's going on, everybody? My name is DJ Mel.
This is DJ Honeycomb.
And you're listening to the sound of firsts, coming to you from Waterloo Records, where music still matters.
Tagline.
Remember that?
They don't use it anymore?
They don't use it anymore. Where MP3s don't matter. That should have been the thing back in the day, because I remember, I mean, you were kind of here, but yeah, you were here when everyone was freaking out here at the store about Napster.
Napster, no, yeah, I was here.
File sharing and iTunes and just this existential crisis that the store was having at the time about going out of business and Borders opening across the street. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Instead of the Whole Foods, it was going to be Borders and a movie theater.
Something like that.
Before that was just a dusty used car lot. Like, I don't think anything was
No,
there.
wait. So the Whole Foods and the book people have been there forever. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, Caddy Corner,
Yes,
what you're thinking, where the Whole Foods headquarters is located now, was like a big Chevy dealership.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
It just looked like an empty ghost town, yeah.
When that car lot was still around, with my buddy Coy and Chris Becht, my DJ buddies. Chris is such a goofball. Like, we're in his truck and we were doing donuts in that parking lot. In fact, the car lot was already empty.
What car were you in when you were doing donuts? Or was it like a motorbike?
It was like a Nissan truck.
Oh.
So it was like I'm in the extra cab because I'm so small I could fit in the extra cab, and Coy and Chris were in the, Chris was driving and Coy was in the passenger seat, and Chris was like, "Woo, let's do donuts." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude. We're going to die here." But anyways, where music still matters. Friends and family, you should shop at Waterloo Records at their new location. www.waterloorecords.com. Don't forget.
You got it memorized.
I know.
Wow.
So Rachel, let us know what's new.
I don't know if you know. I don't know if most people know, but I am a nerd about space. And I've been following the Artemis crew and the Artemis journey. There's 4 parts to it. This is the second part to it. The third part, so we already know about the second part. They had to go around the moon, check it out, get some data, and come back to Earth. The third part is landing on the moon. And the fourth part, I think, might be landing on the moon again.
Inhabiting the moon.
Man, I'm reading a book by Michael Collins called Carrying the Fire, and he was part of Apollo 11. And he was a test pilot in the beginning, and he got into NASA second try, not the first time. And there's a lot of things that, like, if we're thinking about civilization on other planets, there's a lot of idiosyncrasies that I think we don't think about. For instance, he, by trial and error, he had gone out onto the moon and he had moon dust on his boots, and he was going inside back into the shuttle. And there's this room where there's a pressure for oxygen and recalibration. And they didn't know this until they knew about it, but his boots just went aflame, just in like fire. They just started burning up, and he is like, "Oh my God," he had to take off the boots. The moon dust is is flammable. And so it's just like,
interesting.
So we want to land on the moon and shop on the moon and live on the moon and whatever. And if we don't know these details, this is going to take probably longer than we think.
Yeah, you're going to
I'm not a fan of like living out in outer space. I'm a fan of like exploring and looking at space and having silence.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. I'm kind of jealous of the Artemis crew to leave Earth. I'm like, so nice and quiet in space, cold.
Yeah.
No politics.
They had a playlist. Have you
did
seen
they?
it? Yeah, let me look it up.
I was just thinking, like, there's a ton of songs I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about.
Yeah, well, actually, Charlie Crockett, he has a track on that playlist, which I was like, whoa. Let's see here, playlist.
That's awesome.
So Artemis, okay, NASA drops their, okay, so it's, Lonesome Drifter by Charlie Crockett.
Oh, perfect.
Under Pressure, that's kind of funny,
Yeah.
by Queen and Bowie.
Yeah, nice.
Tokyo Drifting, Glass Animals, and Denzel Curry.
Okay.
CeeLo Green.
Which one?
John Legend, Working Class Heroes by CeeLo Green. John Legend and Andre 3000, a track called Green Light,
Uh-huh.
among a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
Big up Charlie Crockett.
Yeah. Well, and he was just here at the store doing it in store. I heard that was bonkers. Of course, it's bonkers. But yeah, I mean, good for Waterloo to have Charlie on. He's very talented. But yeah, I've been following the Artemis journey. I'm very happy that they finally got to take off and land in one piece and on to the next. But that's kind of been my hobby world, other than that, it's just kind of been working. And I am going to be going to France in a week. So the land of Cassius, Daft Punk. I'm very excited. There is this record store called The Vinyl Shop. I think their handle on Instagram is called @TheVinylShop. And it's a small swap meet kind of like space with like a tarp on the top. And everybody that comes in, they're just kind of like boogieing while they're like.
Oh, I've seen that.
And they usually are playing like disco or R&B from the 80s, which is kind of like disco.
Yeah, a lot of grown folk type stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to go there. No interest in seeing the Mona Lisa. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. So just getting the house ready for my mother-in-law to house sit, dog sit, and go to France.
That's cool.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, first off, I've been to Paris before, and it's just it's always been a blur. And I'm not going to go in depth about it. It's just always been a blur, and it's not me trying to brag that I was there, but
well, you're in probably work mode, not leisure mode.
Yeah, or being in the state that I'm in right now, or like just lack of sleep. Yeah. So,
okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for you. Paris is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, old city. I mean, it's just I'm a big architecture fan. I'm a big design fan. I'm a big culture fan. And we're also going to go to Cognac. And that's a sleepy town.
Okay.
So I'm just jumping on my husband's business trip. And he's in the hospitality industry. And so they're going to go to a lot of like distilleries and wineries and then everything is set up by Pierre Ferrand Group. And so there's a whole itinerary for us. A lot of restaurants and a lot of bars to check out. I'm not really a drinker, so I'm going to have to carry my own private spittoon.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight. So speaking of France, I was talking to an old DJ buddy of mine the other day about this, but Thomas Bangalter and Fred again said on YouTube. So, I'm not the biggest Fred again fan. I mean, I don't really know a lot, but I know a lot about Thomas Bangalter.
Okay.
And Thomas Bangalter is one half of Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And Tam is, if you know anything about Thomas Bangalter, he's one half of Daft Punk. He's behind Roulette Records. I mean, a bunch of, Stardust, whatever. That's Thomas Bangalter. But anyways, recently Thomas has been DJing with Fred again. Okay. And they dropped the video of their set in the UK. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, it is probably the best DJ set I've ever seen in my life.
Can you send me that link?
I will. It is.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating.
What do you think they're doing and not doing?
Okay. I'll tell you
There's
why.
some preparation with all this. Yeah.
I'll tell you why, without really trying to spoil it completely. They're in this room. There's probably 5,000. There could have been 10,000 people in this room in the UK. The production of it, when you watch EDM shows, is very, formulaic, right? Mm-hmm. Pyro, CO2, lasers,
Got it.
LED walls, just stereotypical EDM shit, which is fun, whatever, do your thing. But with them, the production was so minimal where it was just a lot of warm lighting, some smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and they had this massive drape over the venue where it looked, I think it was made out of the same material like silk that they'll use for parachutes. Okay.
That
That type of material.
Yep.
and they just had fans blowing on it, and they strategically placed lights above that draping for this like insane effect. And the drapes would lower, and they were all on strings, and they would lower, they would just lower and then rise, and there were movements to the set, right? And if you are like a complete music nerd and you're very well versed on electronic music and old school rave music, I mean, they went through LFO, they went through 808 State, they ran through everything. All the Daft Punk stuff.
Okay.
They covered every bass genre wise.
Yeah.
There was a hip hop throwback too.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to spoil it though. I'm not going to spoil it because I want you to watch it. It's like
very intrigued.
And the crowd was just insanely, they just went through everything. UK garage, drum and bass, early 2000s hip hop type stuff. They just went at the very beginning. They touched on some Motown stuff. The crowd was super enthusiastic about it. I don't know. It was. I remember when the algorithm sent it my way on social media.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, let me check this out. This is going to be kind of, I don't know, Fred again, whatever.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it, and the set's like 2 hours long. I sat through the entire thing.
Nice.
And I had a much greater respect for Fred again, even though I don't know a lot about him, because you could see the reverence he has for Thomas Bangalter. And I will say this is the only one spoiler that I will give away. There's a part probably midway through the set where he plays this track that has a recording of his son when his son was a little kid. Thomas recorded his son singing, and he played this track with that vocal. And his son's 19, 20 now.
Yeah.
Standing behind him, and Thomas started playing it, and then they panned over to his son, and his son just started crying. Because he's like, oh my God, that's me, right?
Yeah.
Very touching part, but just overall, I don't know. I mean, there's not tons of, there's no scratching or doing any, nerdy turntable stuff, but I don't know, just everything about it and the way the set ended, it was just insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. It's almost kind of like a quiet approach to design, but it has so much impact. It's very profound. It's actually loud in the most symbolic sense. I think that's kind of European. I think with American culture, it's more in your face design.
Yeah,
aspects.
It's more hair metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of
Monster Truckland.
Yeah. That's how I kind of see EDM music. I mean, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that's kind of how I see it. It's more of a spectacle. Yeah, the music is very important. I will say that.
Yeah.
But it's also just the visual as opposed to this Fred Again set where it was so minimal that what made it really stand out and was very impactful was how minimal it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't smoke and mirrors. It was very reminiscent of maybe rave culture back in the 90s or early late 80s when it was illegal. Where all right, we're just going to set up in a warehouse and we're going to clean up back in the 626 old days when I was a part of a DJ crew in the early 2000s, late 90s, where we would, it wasn't illegal, but we would talk to maybe a realtor or a person who owned the building and hey, can we rent this out for a day?
That's the old school way. Yeah, for sure.
And we would clean out the room.
Yeah.
Set up a generator and some lights and off to the races.
Yeah. The good old days.
The good old days. But aside from that, I've just been laying low. We talked about this a while back. I mean, I was just on this crazy run the past couple months doing a bunch of other things, but now I've just been enjoying the fact that I'm not doing much.
Enjoy it. Celebrate that.
No,
it's an art to doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing
not nothing, but yeah.
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 So
I'm sure you're doing something.
So we were talking about 626 Soul and, just the good old days here in Austin, Texas. I don't want this podcast to turn into like the old crotchety, back in the day, Austin was better. No, I don't want it to be that way. But that time was fun.
Yeah. And I think the average age of the folks that have been in this podcast program, if you will, have been of a certain age, and we have memories to share. It's not like we're fresh-faced 21-year-olds when we can only talk about high school and middle school days.
Yeah, I mean,
like there's more to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no issues with New Austin or Austin 2026.
Yeah.
But we need to just kind of accept the fact that it's never going to be that way again, and that we should appreciate 2026 or the present.
Yeah.
Because it ain't going to be Austin 1995 where I'm DJing in a dirty, dusty old warehouse and there's a generator and I'm with.
And the generator's loud. You got to hide it somewhere, not next to your DJ set. That's a lot of mistakes.
And the cops bust it and that kind of stuff. That's the other thing that
they ruined everything.
Just rave culture now where there's no element of danger now. You know what I mean? Because, big entities have gotten involved with that, right? We're not going to name them, but there's no danger to it. There's no threat of it getting busted.
Yeah.
Not back in the day when, I don't know, maybe this was kind of on the tail end of things, but like maybe an airport rave or something like that, airport 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That maybe it would get busted and then Noah would probably go to jail or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Did he ever get busted? But anyways, let's segue to this, all right? So,
yes,
before we dig in and get in depth about all this stuff, this episode's guest
you got it.
that I'm super excited about is a local DJ, a DJ that's been around Austin for many, many years, and also is an incredible realtor. And his name, Toddy B, but pronounce your last name.
Bergener.
That's a mystery to me. It's
Bergener.
always
That's
been
why the B
Bergener.
is fine.
Yeah.
I've heard
Todd Bergener.
That's right.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Big fan of the show.
Applause.
Yay.
So, I have so many questions for you. I love talking to other DJs.
Let's go. I love it.
But I mean, is there anything in the past year that you've been kind of on with music? I know you've seen your day in the music world.
Sure.
And I know that this question, sometimes the answer can be really random. So just feel free to say anything that doesn't make any sense. It all makes sense to us.
Love it.
You can say whatever you want. You can cuss. You can do whatever.
Music is not linear.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've followed this journey of house music. I'm a house DJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My roots go back to 626 Soul.
Yeah.
I was, let's see, that was late 90s. I was young 20s, barely.
Okay.
Got introduced to house music, which is a cool story.
Yeah.
But I was the lead singer of a garage band in high school.
Stop.
Yes.
Really?
And that's a fun story too.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
I was a singer. We were doing cover shows. I was at 6th Street at the Black Cat all my high school.
Oh, shit.
Because that was the only all ages place.
Yeah.
On 6th
I
Street.
did not know.
Before it was called Dirty Six.
You learn something.
That's
every
right.
day.
Black Cat Lounge. It burned down and they rebuilt it. It was the Nook. Now it's something else. It's changed hands a couple times, but
Yeah.
I was a singer and we went to see this one band called Sunflower. We were obsessed with them, me and my little guy crew, and we covered all their songs. We did our shows at our high school talent shows, the parties in high school, and then I found dance music. And so I was starting out with house music, deep house preferably, like tribal stuff. I was always about drums, tribal percussion.
Yeah.
And that was like progressive house at the time is what that was like, tribal progressive house. The word progressive house has changed the genre a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Progressive house now I think is like the big room EDM stuff. If you had to like
I did not
go
know
to
that.
Beatport and look at progressive,
Okay.
it's different.
Yeah.
And so I followed through the EDM phase, which was like the 2000s, the mid 2000s. And then that kind of went away, and it all kind of went back into deep house, and techno became like techno was like just its own thing. Now you say techno, and there's subgenres of techno.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's a really
Banging
interesting
techno, hard techno, dark techno, ambient techno.
Yeah,
A
there's
lot.
There's,
Yeah.
yeah, there's also kind of like a subgenre. Like, I don't know. I'm dumb. All right. I'll always say that. Okay. But yeah, there's like this thing about techno where like it's very like the Matrix, kind of like Blade, where you see the DJs. I'm like, man, you look like you're in the Matrix. You know, they're all dressed up like in a certain way. You're just like,
Or the
all right,
Crow.
gone are the days of like Ron Atkins and Richie Houghton. Like, no, like there's a girl there that she's dressed up like what's the gal in the Matrix?
Oh gosh, tight leathers all the way.
Something
up.
like Echo or something like
There's
I don't know.
Neo and
Or
then
Neo.
what was her name?
Neo Echo.
Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
this
Anyways, just that aesthetic, right? And yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean,
heiresses of techno now, they all look like that. Like a lot of those high level artists,
they
all have that, all black, all tights.
yeah, they have
bobs,
that.
most
yeah,
of them.
Yeah, they
know?
have that aesthetic. Remember
that's the look.
remember Eon
Trinity.
Flux on Trinity.
Oh yeah, there you go, Trinity.
Yeah. Remember
Nice
Eon
work.
Flux on MTV?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what. Yeah,
It's very much that.
That's right.
And they
Which
made
is
that
cool.
Yeah.
into a movie
You know what I
too.
mean?
I think.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't know that person was a DJ, I'm like, man, that girl's hot. Damn.
Or
Wonder
an
what she looks like in
anime.
normal clothes.
What?
I said, I wonder what she looks like in normal clothes.
I know. We talked about that in a podcast like weeks and weeks ago about just rockabilly folks if they rock
I heard
normal
that.
clothes.
Yeah,
you know,
that was
but
good.
but
What do they look like when they're not at work?
yeah.
I think you said that.
Yeah.
actually.
So
So you
back to the so I went through this EDM phase,
Okay.
and then it changed. The music changed, and as this younger generation came up, they started listening to deep house again, and some of these like Lane 8 sounds started coming out.
Okay.
And it kind of went full circle, to be honest with you. So the last 5 to 10 years, I'd say a lot of the DJs that are probably now in their 50s and 60s, they're like the old school legends
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
They went quiet for a little while.
Yeah.
And now they're huge again.
Yes.
And they're playing huge Ibiza clubs, and they're playing all over the
really?
world. I'm super happy for them.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, to answer your question, I've kind of gone full circle with house
Okay.
music from EDM back to deep house and progressive. And that was, I think it was 2015. It was about 10 years ago. There was a club I was playing at, and the club owner was like, hey, I need you to play this song. It was a Porter Robinson track that I knew it. I didn't love it.
Sure.
But Table 7 wanted it because they bought a bottle.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was at a crossroads, and I made a decision that night that I was done with that residency,
Okay.
for one. And
Yeah.
then two, I'm not playing what I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going back to playing what I want to play for the people, obviously. But as far as genres,
Yeah.
the club that I was playing at it was Summit. It was a big room club, patio, tables.
God,
you
I
know,
almost
Yeah.
forgot
it
about
was
that place.
EDM at its heyday, Avicii, massive, all that stuff,
Hmm.
which was cool. I enjoyed it because I enjoyed dance music, but it wasn't my passion.
Of course.
And so that was kind of when Kingdom was starting to come up, and Lanai had started to come up. So I would play across the street at Lanai and Kingdom and get to play the music that I really loved. And then the next weekend I'd go to Summit and I'd play these bangers, and I was just miserable. And my wife was like, "How was it?" And I was like, "I got paid great, but it was rough." And I ended up turning it into like a drinking thing to get
Yeah.
through it and have fun, because that was the
Yeah,
vibe.
Yeah.
That starts
Yeah.
the
That
vision.
wasn't why I got into all this.
Right.
You know,
That
don't get me wrong. I like to have a good time. And if you know me, I like to have a good time. But there's also like, when you're playing at Kingdom and Lanai, you got to have your shit on point. You know what I mean? The heads are there. They're watching and listening to every track, every mix, every blend. And so I took it a lot more serious when I was playing over there. So yeah, everything's gone back full circle. I
Nice.
love deep house. I love certain genres of techno.
Yeah.
The legends are still putting music out, and those
Okay.
are kind of still my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just off, like funny little question. What is your favorite BPM? Beats per minute.
Man, loaded question. But if I have a 4-hour set, if I'm starting the club from 10 to 2, let's say, I'm starting out at 121.
Okay.
By 10 o'clock, I'm at 123.
Okay.
And I'll probably peak out at 129. I'm not really going over 130.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
There you
like
go.
2 a.m. peak
Yep.
bangers for me
Right.
is a 128, 129.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how just
That's heavy, actually.
a couple of decimal or not decimal, a couple of numbers up can change everything.
Man, it's crazy.
Like,
It can take
yeah.
a track from a 2 a.m. track back down to a 10 p.m. track. You know what I mean? If you pitch it down, right? But I don't know. That's why I love deep house. Is like sometimes you put something on, you're like, oh, that's good for like warm up, or that's
Yeah.
good listening music, and then you put it at 128 and it changes the floor.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now
you gotta be
people are
careful.
boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. That's why we love music, right? Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about Daft Punk though.
Yeah. Go
Can
for
we
it.
go back to that for a second?
Of course.
Because I think what we're seeing before our eyes is a return of Daft Punk, maybe. Because
Yeah,
he hasn't DJed in 20 years. And this was a big deal for him to come out with Fred again. And like, what are they doing? Like, they mastered and redirected and re-edited all those tracks for that set. And everything you said was absolutely spot on. That was insane. That was amazing. But what are they doing? What's going on?
yeah,
Everybody's been
Seeds.
leaking rumors. Every Coachella, they're like, or ACL, they're like, Daft Punk at the Capitol. Like,
I remember that rumor.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It keeps coming back, but we're gonna get some clickbait one day, and they're fucking coming back.
I mean,
yeah,
What do you
maybe.
think?
I would love that. But
Oh man,
You know, I've
Wouldn't we all?
I've thought about this a little bit. I think I don't know. It's clearly they're not. Money is not. They're not enticed by money, right? If it was about money, they would have been out already,
long
right?
time ago.
But I started thinking, okay, well, man, they've been laying low for a long time, and so if they're going to do something big, they've got to do it big. And I started thinking, okay, well, if they're going to do something, they're going to do it at the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would make perfect sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
That would
Being in that globe thing,
Oh, yeah.
and then like I think the chairs rumble and like and all this kind of stuff, and imagine them just going through like their entire catalog with all those visuals. Like, dude, they would sell out if they did like a.
Oh, they could do a 2-week, 3-week run, maybe a month run.
And then that's it. Like,
People from all over the world would come to that.
oh, it would sell out.
I wonder if they would do the Sphere or do something like Wembley Stadium. I don't know. You know, like
Yeah.
something massive.
I
Yeah.
think this.
What's the Sphere hold? Like 20?
I don't know. I don't know what the cap is, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but who knows? I mean, maybe they're just like, you know, we don't need to do this anymore.
Maybe he just got the itch
Yeah.
and was like into Fred again.
Maybe he just wants to DJ.
And was like, yeah.
You know, you don't know what the other half is doing, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that's fair.
But
Or maybe him and Fred again are boys, and they started messing around in the studio, and then he got a little bug and was like, "Hey, let's do something."
Yeah.
Because it was like, I don't want to say it was unannounced, but it was not advertised. It was like we didn't hear about it until we saw the show.
yeah,
Maybe over there. Where was it?
it was somewhere in the UK.
UK. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we wouldn't have heard about it, but that's pretty big.
Yeah, I think prior to that set that you and I saw on
Yeah.
YouTube, I believe Fred again and Thomas Bangalter did a few sets before that, right?
Okay.
But
I think they teased another one too.
I mean,
I think they're teasing some stuff for us.
I mean, I don't know. I could see maybe Fred again and Thomas Bangalter
Yeah.
collaborating on something, but I don't see Daft Punk
Okay.
putting out anything anytime soon. I just don't see it. And if they do, it would be on some like, okay, we're gonna do a month at we have a month long residency at the Sphere,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they're at the level to do a world tour, and it could go a year long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, but that doesn't seem like very Daft Punk.
I don't think
They're on the
I,
down low.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I don't
because,
even know if they would
dude,
even
I don't
be
see
in
them
this.
doing stadium.
I don't think
know,
it's
biggest
their
American
thing.
gig
I mean,
was like
yeah.
Lollapalooza,
I think
2010 or something. They did Lala.
they did. Yeah,
in
they
the
did Lala
Pyramid.
2007.
I was there. 7. Yeah, I was there.
And
I'm a
I
huge
actually
Daft Punk fan.
actually like that was the year before I got involved, before I started working at C3.
Because it wasn't Perry's 10. It was the main stage.
It was the main stage.
Yeah.
And there's actually that set is on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube as well. And it was just interesting because 2007 there weren't any smartphones. People had actual cameras.
Yeah.
But you didn't see a sea of like smartphones. Everyone, and you could see the gals, like their haircuts were very 2007, which I thought it was dope. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this is cool, you know? But, but man, like, yeah, I mean, the world has changed completely since then, but
What a different time.
yeah, but it was a great set. But yeah, what really stayed with me was like not seeing any smartphones.
Yeah, I know. It's like a lot of these 90s like home videos or camcorders. Like my sister had like a smaller one and everybody was borrowing it.
Yeah.
Like
The
all
shoulder rest thing.
yeah. All these videos are coming out and I'm like, it's so great to see like all these people dancing and they're just like, whatever, and their style. And there's like different, outfits or interests of how to dress yourself. Like, so you would have like the Chicanos and Chicanas over here, and they were dancing with like the preps, and the preps were dancing with like the skaters, and it's just like
that's
a
why we
middle
love
school dance party.
That's why we love dance music, right?
Yeah.
There was so many different types
Yeah,
of
everybody was on the
people
dance-
expressing
yeah.
and on that too.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot more of these no phones parties.
Great.
I know. And they're advertising them as no phone parties. And I
Okay.
saw Coachella this week, and Cascade had a no phones on the stage policy, because when you see these live streams,
Oh,
that's all you see is the people
know.
behind the DJ.
How about no people on the stage? How about that?
Yeah,
I
that
know
would be
you
nice.
come from that. I
let's-
love people on the stage, though. It's a party,
I
man.
can't. That's the
You
last
like your
thing.
space, though, when you're
I
DJing.
don't want 20 randos
Yeah.
like jumping up and down behind me. Like really? Like,
pouring their drink
are you
on
that?
your-
Are you that thirsty for attention?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the no
that-
phone
yeah.
thing works for
Yeah.
me. I mean, like when you go to a comedy show and I have to check my phone, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what if my babysitter calls?
Yeah.
That's where my
Yes,
brain
yeah.
goes. Or like, what if I wanted to text my wife in the bathroom? What if I want to take a picture? Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's the
you
thing.
know, it's either you're in or you're out. You got to do it or not do it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. You'll never see me on my phone.
Same. I'll get
know,
one good
I-
video
I-
to say I was there, have it in my
Yeah,
phone, but I'm not that guy that's recording the show, bothering everybody
For the whole time.
Oh, so
which is
annoying.
weird.
People, if you hear
Yeah.
this, stop doing that.
Yeah, like when
Jeez, we
I
get
agree. I agree.
when I was still at C3 and I was still booking DJs for Vegas, in the contract or the offer that I would send them, in the notes, I would put no cell phone usage during your set.
Oh, you would think that's a given, but that's not a thing.
What started it was one of the DJs that I would book there, and they were mostly Vegas locals. We would probably bring in like LA, or like at the very beginning, we were flying all these. We were flying all these DJs from all over the country, and this is when the property was still trying to figure everything out. So we were like bringing all these like bigger name guys. But anyways, it got to the point where, okay, Vegas locals, Vegas has tons of really good DJs. So anyways, there was one DJ in particular where the staff at the bar or the room that I booked, I forgot what they called her, but it had something in relation to her smartphone. And I'm like, why do you call her that? Because she's always on her phone while she DJs.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's got to end. There's nothing worse than watching a DJ that's on their phone the entire time, or a lot.
Yeah.
You could play on your phone all you want after. I mean, I'm not do whatever you want to do, but I prefer like someone being on stage. Like, okay, this DJ, do what you do. You could. I mean, you have your hours. If your set's 4 hours, you have 20 other hours to play on your phone. Right now, you should DJ.
Yeah.
And that's how I think. The last early dance party that we had like last month, I brought my camera, like a legit, not this one, but like my other camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I with the intention, all right, okay, midway through your set, when the room is at its peak, take a photo real quick, just as proof that like, okay, I was there.
Same. Yep.
But I was so sucked into what I was doing that I didn't. And then when the lights came on and everyone cleared the room and I started striking all my gear and I looked down and there's my camera bag, I was like, fuck. I
good
totally
sign.
forgot. And so the photo I posted online was the room already cleared and already staged for the event the next day.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Or hire somebody or have a buddy take photos.
That's
go.
ideal. Yeah, I'm with you. I've started to see that lately where DJs are on their phone and I'm just kind of like,
What are they doing?
I feel like that's really disrespectful, but I feel like maybe it's a part of being anxious. You know, like they're probably newish to the DJ game and they don't really know how to be in the
yes.
What are they doing?
pauses.
Are they
I don't-
texting people
mean,
from the line? Are they
Who knows? It's a bad look. I stand by that. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, pay attention, read the room.
Oh yeah.
Cultivate a
1000%.
better skill set of even just. I remember we were talking years ago. It's just like if there's a slow gig or the gig's not really your thing and nothing's really happening, you're getting paid to practice.
Yeah. Right.
Like you don't get
I
on
go
your phone.
hard when there's no room. Like
That's where you test all the
that's
shit.
where I'm practicing. No, I'm not saying
that
that
shit
I'm
you never
going,
play. Now's the time to test that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not like
Room full.
playing like
Yeah.
I'm
Room
not
half full.
playing super hard stuff, but
It's all the
That's when-
techniques.
that's when you
can
just
do.
like really enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
So true.
What I was going to say about the phone usage and social media. I mean, I've seen established DJs here in town, and I'm not going to name the names, where they're actually streaming on TikTok. And I'm like going, like, do you there's people there watching you. Why do you need more people
Oh, wow.
watching you on TikTok? And they're like playing into an empty room. I'm like, you know what? Like, really? You know what I mean? Like,
Empty room.
it's just weird. It's weird. I mean, do your thing, and I'm not here to judge like whatever you need to do to get through those 4 hours. I get it,
Yeah.
but I prefer not to use my phone at all while I DJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
I
Me
mean,
too.
the generation that's below us though is known to be brought up on their phone.
Sure.
We weren't like that, so we know what
Yeah.
it's like not to be like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That generation, I think, that's under us that's doing that. There's also people that become famous from doing that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to get established or be famous and have more content, maybe that's what it is. Impress the followers from far. I don't know.
maybe
You know?
you never know.
Yeah, I'm guilty of being on my phone at times. Not like we're talking about, but there's always that friend that's like, "We're in the line. Can you come get us?"
Oh,
I'm
dude.
like,
yeah.
"Motherfucker, you
Yeah.
know better
Yeah. Yeah.
than
Yeah,
to
I-
text me right now.
Yeah,
Like
Don't
I'm
you
gonna
know what
leave the
time it is?
booth and come get you."
Yeah.
yeah,
I know.
yeah. I need to tell the folks at ACL Live when
I don't miss that.
I need to tell them because the production manager is like texting me, and I don't see it until after I'm done playing.
Sure, because you're not on your phone.
Yeah. She's like asking me about something. What is she? I forgot what she said. I mean, she had good intentions. You know, she was just like, it was something about production or something like that, or something going on with, I forgot what it was, but I couldn't, I mean, my phone was in my bag.
Yeah.
So I couldn't answer her question, you know,
Yeah.
but I just need to tell them, hey, if there's something that you need or something needs to change or Home Slice is having trouble getting in or whatever, just walk on stage and just ask me.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't
Exactly.
care. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah. Because you know how to manage that. The managing of the phone is like something that's tricky.
Yeah. You mentioned something about Summit and like having bottle, you know, like sections that are like just bottle sections or whatever. I think that is a big contributor to what kind of killed clubs is just to have, I'm so against that kind of stuff because like when you go out dancing, whether it's a small room or a big room, you go there to escape, right? You know, life is hard. You go to like a club or a room where there's a DJ playing to kind of just dance it all out, right? Sweat it all out, forget about your problems, be free of worry for 4 hours or whatever it is, right? The last thing you want when you enter a room, okay, here's the bottle section and here's the peasant section. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the last thing you want is to like, oh God, you know, like I am poor and I can't go into that section.
Yeah. I'm less than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should just be one big room. I don't care if you're like some, you know, billionaire or a person that has just a normal 9 to 5 job, or you're a barista at a coffee house. Like, it just should be just one big room. Everyone's just together dancing, not facing me, not facing the DJ, facing whoever you're with, and dance with them and have fun. That's like a new thing where people are like facing the stage and like watching me. And I always tell them, there's nothing to look at up here. Yeah, I might do some like, some turntable stuff here and there, but
You guys don't know how I'm doing it, or what even it
there's
means.
nothing to look at.
Yeah.
Unless,
Nor can you see it.
unless you like,
down.
unless you like my handsome face. But dude, dance with the person you're with.
I know.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That used to be a thing.
I hear you. With Summit, before it was Summit, was Royale, if you remember. Mike and Hattie had it. And they built it with tables on the dance floor. What was the dance floor? And this
Wow.
was the start of that in Austin. And I was like, why are there tables on the
know.
dance floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lanai across the street did the same thing. They were putting tables on the dance floor, and I made them move every Saturday. Leslie Ann and I agreed to
Oh my
move
God,
those
Leslie
tables.
Ann, yeah.
Shout out LA.
Yeah.
Move those tables on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Because like you're not gonna park on the dance floor. And so when we did that, and went over to Royale. They went under when all that shit happened with Yassine's and all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
They closed Royale. When they reopened at Summit, the first thing I said to the new owner was like, get rid of those tables on the dance floor, man. This is
Absolutely.
push those on the outside. So I get it. They got to run a business. All good. But like you're saying, like, let's separate the two. The
it's just-
tables is always for me is like now older. Like the ladies want to have their sit down spot and their
Sure.
go-to spot. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it
No,
now, but don't treat it like the peasants are in this corner
Yeah.
and the money spenders are right up front,
Yeah.
standing there staring at each other with 10 dudes and 2 chicks. Like,
Yeah.
not
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I-
taking up dance floor room, and it's a dance party.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
a
with you.
dance party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
I'm-
a sit around and chill party.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, have seating.
Time and place, but
you have to have seating,
Yeah.
right? Like,
and they got to make their money, and that's the thing now. Bottle service is a thing now. It is convenient, but
I'm not with it.
No,
I'm not with it.
Not either.
I mean,
think
I'll tell.
Vegas kind of ruined it for all of us.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not afraid to. I mean, whoever listens to this, yeah. And if you own a venue that has bottle service, do your thing. But I'm not with it. It should just be one room. That's all the way it has always been. Just one big room,
Amen to that.
regardless of where you're from, who you are, your race, your sexual orientation, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just like we're all there to just not think about shit for 4 hours and have fun. That's the way it should be. And
The tables, it's like however many tables is their own clique.
Yes.
yeah, it's
And everybody's at your table. Get out of our space. You're past my ropes. Get out of our. It messes the vibe.
There
up.
should never be hierarchy on the dance
No,
floor.
Like we paid more for our table, so
Yeah.
you should be behind us.
Yeah.
Like,
it's-
you pay more to
I
be
can't
up
wait to go back
close.
to that club and feel like a nothing, because I
I'm going
can't
to Miami
spend
in
3
a few
times.
weeks, and I'm like,
Oh, the good, the Miami Beach.
oh, I'm so dreading it.
Miami is Miami. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I just wanna go to
Would you
space.
say how long have you been DJing?
Well, my show and tell dates us as 2001 was when I
okay.
first started
Yep.
buying records and practicing, and
Okay.
then I think I started playing out. I had been promoting nights for a while.
Okay.
So I went from promoting the nights to the local guys not really playing what I wanted to hear. And so I'd go and set up my own decks, play for a couple hours, figure it out, try to beat match. I didn't have anybody really teaching me. I
Yeah,
just kind
me
of
neither.
learned by ear.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I was like, well, I can do this now. So a couple years later, I just started booking myself, and I'd have guests come with me. But that
Yep.
was like mid 2005-ish,
Okay.
probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Is when I really started. Like I was the last one. Like Mel had 626 Soul.
Yeah.
I had a crew, Slow Motion Music.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
me. It was Lance Cashin. Shout out Lance, who was the owner. It was a record label. It was a production company. It was the DJ Collective. And he just kind of picked up a handful of local guys. Jamon was one of our first guys. Me, Shane Howard, who ended up doing really big stuff. And then that kind of led into me being the little street team promoter guy. So I would throw the parties for Lance. He would book the DJs. I would do all the marketing. And then he kind of timed out. and went to Fort Worth and started a family.
Yeah.
And so that was when I slipped in. So that was like mid-20s. That was like 2005-ish. And that's when I had all the relationships because Lance had took off. So I started meeting like Jameel, who did Sky Lounge and those big clubs we were doing these parties at. This is kind of when we were working with Disco Donnie at the time. C3 wasn't around yet, but I knew them all.
Yeah.
And so that turned into throwing my own stuff. And so I was the last one of that crew to start DJing. So I was watching these guys 18, 19.
Yeah.
After I had gotten out of that rock and roll band.
Nice.
My first, since this
I'm
is
tripping out. I'm still tripping out on the band thing. That's fucking
funny,
wild.
man. I had hair down here.
I gotta see a photo of that,
I got
dude.
them, bro.
Like,
I'll send them.
dude,
I've done a throwback every now and then.
Dude,
I'll send you
one.
that.
But you know what? It
go
makes sense. I mean, you have the personality to be a lead singer.
You
know what I mean?
We didn't know what we were doing. You know, I was just
No, I
having
think
fun.
it's cool.
Oh, I'd love to have continued to do that, but you know, since we're talking about first here, and that's what this podcast is about, I could just jump into my what changed that. Was in 1996, a friend of mine took me to Proteus, which was a local dance club. Mel knows it.
Oh yeah, that's where I met the girl I moved to Austin for.
Okay,
Wow.
right on.
Yeah.
Proteus was a dance club. I didn't know anything about electronic music. I had heard of Daft Punk because Homework was my first introduction to electronic music. And then I was a senior in high school. I was still in high school at this time, and I went to a couple raves, but it was like, oh, this is weird. Didn't know where the sound was coming from. Walked into this club, Proteus. The door guy was in a diaper and like tall platforms. It was Sliver. Shout out Sliver.
Yeah.
Still a homie now.
Wow.
And trans, gay, straights, black, white, brown colors, all shapes, sizes, accents, all of it. And I was like, what is this? Where am I? This is amazing. Where's the sound coming from? He's like, oh, it's a DJ. Let's go check it out. So he brings me up to the booth, and it was Herb, DJ Herb.
Yeah.
Who we all know.
Yeah.
Shout out Herb. And I was in love. And from that moment,
there you go.
I never even cared about going to Black Cat again. I was like, where's the next rave? Who's got to know the DJ culture? Ohms was a thing. And so Herb was DJing with Coy and Michelangelo and a lot of those 626 Soul guys, Chris Specht, and they were all doing Ohms and Proteus, and I just leaned in heavy, and I never looked back, honestly.
Yeah.
I love all kinds of music. The only thing, and I don't want to ruin our question for later about music we don't like, but is probably country music, other than 90s country. Which is what I grew up on. Okay. My dad's the biggest redneck I know. So
Yeah.
And so dance music from that point was 100% in, and then come to follow was slow motion music, and then started DJing, and then throwing the parties, and then working with Disco Donnie, and C3 came along, and then had my peak of DJing probably, let's see, we're in 26, probably like 15. My son's 10 when I had my first son, who's 10 now, which is bananas. Things slowed down, and then real estate really picked up about that time. So I mean, you're 15 in real estate. So for the first like 5 years, I was using the music network to fuel the real estate business.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So were you able to, the work ethic that you had when you were a promoter and DJing or whatever, were you able to use those skills when you started to become a realtor?
Absolutely. I mean, I have the gift of gab, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
I love people. I love sharing space with people. I love making people feel good. So, I mean, I was in my 20s, I sold insurance, and during the day and weekends, I was single. I just DJ'd. And that was a great time of my life. And when I met Kim at 32-ish, I was like, the insurance thing had kind of played out. Music was like what I loved for my passion. And then she was my biggest fan. She was like, you should totally do this. I got a great job. I'll support us through this transition. And I went from like this music guy to like, hey, I'm the real estate guy now. And I already knew how to use, at that time it was MySpace. And so when MySpace we were using for music, and that's where really the promotions online all started. It was like MySpace and your top 5 and your music, And so it just, a lot of realtors didn't know how to use social media at that time. And I was already
You were
way
on
ahead.
it. Yeah, you were
way
on
ahead.
it.
Yeah. And so when I'd have gigs, everybody would, hey, congratulations. Everybody wants to talk about real estate. Everybody wants to know how much their house is worth.
Of course.
Or what's going on in Austin real estate. And I was green and just like, yeah, let's talk about it, which I do to this day, which is why I still do it, because I love it. But to answer your question, Mel, like it was just like very seamless. It was very easy, you know, putting, and then when Facebook came out, it was like off to the races.
Game over.
Because everybody jumped on that, and then you know you can be at the click of a mouse. With a keyboard, you can be in front of 5,000 people.
Yeah.
It was a game changer. So it really helped us out. The first couple years of real estate were kind of slow-ish for new realtor,
Yeah,
but then
of course.
year 3, 4, 5, just every year doubled, and then
Nice.
YouTube came around more popular for realtors. And I mean, even now I'm trying to stay on the forefront of all this AI movement and what's working. I've been, 15 years in now. I know what works, what doesn't work. And for me, it's just staying top of mind for the people that I know. I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of people from that industry. Who I value and appreciate you for
same
being that with me. Honestly, I do.
Yeah, I mean, Todd is such a great, people person.
Thank you.
He's got a great personality, and he's really good with, just dealing with folks regardless of their demeanor or who they are or whatever. And he did such a great job when helping me find where I currently live.
Oh, nice.
And he, whenever I have any type of renters type questions, he is very good at answering those questions. There was a few years ago, knock on wood, the person who owns where I live now she was thinking about selling the house. Remember this?
Oh yeah.
And I was just like in panic mode in my head. I'm like, oh my God, the sky is falling.
I could see you panicking through the phone.
Yeah. And I was like thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to like go through the process with you to find another place.
Which you really don't like that. You're not a creature of change.
He knows that.
You were settled in your place before that for 10, 15 years or something.
In the Bolden Creek area.
You were there for a long time, so you did not want to move again.
So he knows.
Yeah.
So I told him my dilemma, and and I was telling Todd that she was thinking about raising the rent, okay, which was fair because the entire time she never did. There was never this yearly, hike, if you will. And then I asked her, I said, well, I don't want to rock on your dime. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be in the red each month, but tell me what you feel comfortable with that, I could stay here. And then, and we left it at that.
Yeah.
And then she came back with this number. And then I called Todd up and I told Todd what, the situation. And he just basically said, I know you, Mel, you hate to move, right? You would have to go through all this you would have to go through all this stuff again. My advice to you is that you just pay that amount. And I just thought about it. I'm like, you're right.
It wasn't a nominal amount though. It was enough to like keep you comfortable there, right? Like their taxes had gone up, their insurance had gone up. They were kind of trying to I think they had given us a deal in the beginning too. So they were kind of getting back to neutral.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you move, you're probably going to pay more anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just pay that and not have to move. Well, sure enough, you're still there.
Yeah. Well, when you were involved, they were dealing with a management company. Right.
That's right.
And then when they found out who I was.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm not trying to brag.
No,
but
we pitched that from the beginning. I remember.
Yeah. And when they found out who I was, they were like, let's get rid of the management company.
Yeah.
Let's just deal with Mel. He's cool. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So
yeah,
Todd being so good with dealing with folks and putting people at ease, and because whether it's renting or selling, I'm sure, it's scary. It's scary as fuck. I'm sure you deal with folks from every economic level, right? Where like people are just kind of skating by to people that, money's not even a problem, right? But you're good at dealing with those folks folks that are skating by or folks with a lot of money. So, I mean, yeah, you're just really good at it.
Thank you.
And I'm definitely a testament of that
Appreciate that.
because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be in the house I'm in if it wasn't
Yeah.
for Todd.
I'm just thinking of like, if we put all of our experience together in this room, it's probably like 90 years of experience in the DJ world.
Sure.
And we've all probably had to experience various characters to manage ourselves around to kind of get it done. And that's just kind of behind the scenes. And then you have the folks that you're trying to read and, trying to get everybody or most people in the room happy with how you're choosing music. I feel like all those little nuances is probably such a great foundation for kind of, I guess, wheeling and dealing and figuring out like the safe zone for reading clients
reading a
versus
person,
going
yeah.
in cold
Yeah.
into
For
real estate. Like, I just want to be a real estate agent. And there's like no, I guess, what would you call it? It's beyond customer service. I mean, the thing about the DJ world, it is just so many moving layers or targets of like making sure everybody is kind of happy, but as long as you're happy as well for you to continue and come back to the same venue or whatever. It is just this moving thing. It's this
nailed it.
amoeba. Yeah.
You nailed it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, the two really do mix that way. Because if you're DJing, you're sure you want to play the music for you, but it's not always about you. It's
No.
keeping everybody else happy.
Yeah.
And real estate obviously is the same, right?
The biggest purchase of someone's life. They're
Absolutely.
very nervous.
Absolutely.
It's almost like someone's wedding day and no one can make the bride happy because she's just
Seen
so
it.
nervous or
Seen
whatever.
it all.
Yeah.
Mel's right though. I work with everybody. I work with mostly family friends, referrals of family friends. So somebody says, "Hey, I got a client in Round Rock. I grew up in Round Rock. I know it well. I was born and raised there. Like, let's
Nice.
go. You know,
Yeah.
somebody goes to Buda. Let's go. Somebody wants to buy a $10 million house in Westlake. I'm like, Austin, let's go. I do
Yeah.
it all. So not to pitch real estate, but like that's
It's the art of the pivot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It goes in the music world too, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of feelings in the music world.
Yeah, and egos too. There's a lot of ego in real
That-
estate too.
Everywhere,
Ego is
right?
a really big topic for me right now. I'm
No,
dealing
no,
with it
no.
on a lot of different
and,
levels.
And we'll get into that for a second. Like I was thinking about you when I was walking into the building because there's a real estate company. In this
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
building.
know it. We don't have to talk about it.
No. But I
Just
was
kidding.
thinking. I think
Just kidding.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I know it.
Like, are there like real estate company beef, right?
Cat
like
fights.
blood Crips type shit.
No,
where
I think-
they're doing gang signs and shit. Caldwell Banker in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like fucking doing the hand signs and shit.
I
Or
think
what?
on the broker side, like the company side, everybody kind of it's friendly competition in Austin. That's one of the things I love about the Austin real estate community is friendly competition.
Yeah.
But there's agents in those brokerages that are very
Sure.
not mine, but I know others that are.
Of course.
And it's usually the ones at the top that are, and it's ego and it's,
Yes.
I want to do more and more and more. I don't work in that space. So I've seen
that's
it.
good.
Good for you.
No,
Yeah.
there's no room for me in that. I don't give two shits anymore.
Good.
It's not about, again, there's no ego with me. You know,
Yeah, same.
No ego
Same.
with me.
Yeah, same.
You're
I-
very much. Yeah.
I at least I think so.
No, you're on. You're spot on. You've
Int-
never had ego.
It's interesting about DJs and real estate agents. Like,
Two huge ego industries.
yeah,
by the
Yes.
way.
well,
Yes.
there's plenty of in Austin.
Sure.
There's plenty of real estate agents.
Yes.
I don't think we need more real estate agents. I don't think we need more
more
DJs in this town. I don't think we need more drone operators. Like,
man.
there's like a zillion of those in, like you see on social media now. I'm just like, we don't
we're
need.
good.
Yeah, we don't need like some person who thinks who kind of fancies themselves as Christopher Columbus. Like, I discovered this business on the East Side. No, it's been there for 20 years. You didn't discover everything. You're just talking about it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
less of that. But anyways, like, I digress.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me being the crotchety get off my lawn guy again. but anyways, yeah, like that field.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone. Oh, it was Nick Knack.
Okay.
Who you've helped.
I've sold him 2 houses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Only for life.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's that two industries coming together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nick is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, we
Aw.
talked on the phone for a long time the other
And
day.
an amazing artist
Yeah, he's so
and producer and
he's-
record label owner and dad and father.
Doesn't
Yeah,
sleep.
all the
he's
things.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Porch collector, all the things.
Yeah, he's Yeah.
He's the man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Nick Nack.
Dork number one. That's and
He's so smart.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Just our OCD and like just being anal or whatever.
He's engineer smart.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't realize like how smart he was because all we ever talk about is music and cars and shit.
Sure.
But on the phone the other day, we were talking about radio DJs. Now, back in the day when terrestrial radio was really a thing, when it was a big deal, that the on-air personalities, and I know this because of my experience with radio, okay, that, you know, the drive time guys or the morning drive guys or the afternoon drive guys, all the like the DJs that have like the big shifts on air have this warped perception of themselves. They think they're way more important than they actually are. I know that for a fact. And Nick and I were talking about that. And the reason being we mentioned that was, I don't know, we're not going to name names here.
Why not?
No, hell no. But
Next.
no,
Front row.
Yeah, right.
they just have this. Yeah, they think they're way more important. Like they think like if they walk into a room, like everyone's going to stare at them. Like, no, dude, no one knows who the fuck you are.
You're a
You know what I mean?
radio DJ. No one knows your face.
Yeah, and here's a good example, and I don't even know the name. Like even if I knew the name, I would. Yeah, I don't know. I would say it, but I don't even know the name. But when I worked at C3, like throughout the years, I had to share my office with different people or whatever, and then later on, it wound up being Bobby, and we shared an office forever. But before that, there was a gal that I used to share an office with, and she did marketing for C3, like concert and festival marketing. And yeah, we got close. When you're in an office when you're around a person every day for years, you wind up being close. I mean, I love her to death to this day. Like she's still in Austin, but I remember one day in particular, she got upset. Like she was sitting there and I could kind of tell her, like I could kind of tell she was getting upset. She got off the phone and I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's this guy who sells ads for a local radio station here, and he's just so mean to me." And I'm like, going, like, "Who is this guy?" And she goes, "I'll show you." And then she got online hopped on and found his Facebook page. And it was just like this frumpy, lame ass looking normal fucking dude. And you look at his photos, he has photo albums, on his Facebook, and he has one that's called Artists That I've Broke in Austin.
I don't
Pictures
He's
of him
selling ads now for the radio.
No. He wasn't an on-air personality. He just worked at the radio station, like selling ads. But he had all these photos of him and these artists that would stop by the radio station, and he would say, "Yeah, I broke this artist in Austin." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
I'm just like, anyways, why? What? But anyways, egos is just crazy.
Ego. Back to ego.
It's just back to ego. But I don't know. Big egos and DJing, that's a given. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And I stay away from people like that. I just, like, whatever, dude.
But I think that the silver lining of it all is that you develop this really thick skin. You're like a rhino. I can't even say it. You're an elephant. Another one with thick skin. And so for me, it's easier for me to deal with the difficult personalities because you've had to go through it so often with like the DJ gigs.
Yeah, same. I've dealt, you name it, just me being at Lollapalooza for many, many years and being part of the team that runs Perry Stage. I've dealt with everybody. From the highest of the highest to like, a Chicago local. And the Chicago locals, I mean, they're always great, but you just different personalities, right? And you just have to be able to adjust to that. It takes a lot to offend me, right? Or to get me annoyed or whatever. So like egos don't bother me. I'll raise an eyebrow and go, "Okay, well, whatever, dude." You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like some of them, like, there's some of them, and I'll use this. Okay, this is the example I will use, and I will name a name.
I got one of those.
This
too.
was many years ago. Boys Noise, like he performed. He's now on tour with Nine Inch Nails.
9 Inch Noise.
Yeah. So he just performed with 9 Inch Nails at Coachella. But this is when he was like, this was during the early 2010s EDM boom. He was part of that, and then he performed at Lala, and he at the beginning of his set he had this intro, right? But for some reason his gear started acting weird, and I forgot what it was. It was either I don't fix it while he's playing, or he just plays the set and he's gonna have to like basically DJ with one arm. That's how that was basically the situation where I fix this, right? And you'll be inconvenienced for like 30 seconds. Right?
Okay, I know where
you know what I mean?
Going. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you just deal with this problem and work around it. So I fixed the problem and I totally forgot what it was. And then he just looks at me and goes, "You just ruined my intro." And I just looked at him and I'm going, "What do you want to do? You want to start over right now? Do you really want to do that? Just keep playing.
I know.
Roll with it, dog."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he kept playing.
Yeah.
And I'm just going thinking dude, no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they heard this little hiccup at the beginning, but just keep playing. People are going to forget about it.
Already forgot about it.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's weird. But for that guy, he thought it was like he was playing the Super Bowl halftime show. You know what I mean? Like, dude, get over yourself. You're playing a 4 p.m. slot on a Saturday. I mean, yeah, it's important and there are a lot of people here, but dude, just roll with it.
Yeah.
Right?
And then there's some fun people that you get to work with that you've never met before, and you just happen to share a billing. Then you end up becoming friends for a couple of years. Like my experience with that, because we have had all of our chapters of dealing with difficult personality, especially on the same billing. But I was DJing a Rachel Ray South by party at this place called Beauty Bar. And it was a day party, all those day parties. And my medium is 1200s, Technique 1200s. So that's what I like to play on. I still do. The person after me that was playing is Efren Ramirez, and he is Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted to DJ. He was DJing for a while, and he liked to play on CD DJs. And so when we were transitioning, it was the biggest set of Twister, and we were just laughing through the whole thing. And as he was playing like Holiday from Madonna, all these people rush in. They're like, "You're the best DJ ever." I'm like, "What am I? Chop liver?" I would just play like actual.
And Holiday is the one that got you guys.
Yeah.
I just rocked it for 2 hours.
But he and I, we locked eyes and we're just like, this is so funny and ridiculous. And we ended up being friends for a couple of years after that. And then I have some friends who they do TV commercials and they know him, and he's still a really fun, nice guy. So it's nice to kind of have that balance of like these fun characters that you never really will know for the rest of your life, but maybe just for a chapter or two. But then I was opening up for Two Door Cinema Club and they were total assholes. I'm like, who are you guys? Yeah. So I was just like, I was like, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you. And they're like, so the transition was difficult, but I'm just glad that there are some fun, sunshiny characters also in the mix too.
There's probably more fun than there are bad.
I would say that would be the reason why I continue to DJ, because there's more good than there is bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a spectrum, of personalities. And when I mentioned, just the DJs in Chicago or whatever, I'm not saying they're all assholes, because they're not. Most of them are delightful to work with, you know?
Yeah.
Some of them have, demands in their particular about what their team wants or whatever. And that's understandable, right?
You have to have your needs met.
And I get that. But when you befriend, you wind up working with someone and then you wind up being friends with them.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I mean, that hasn't really happened to me in a very long time, but when it happens, it's the best.
I think we're all younger and everybody's your friend, so that was easier.
True.
Yeah.
When you're older, you're just like, goodbye.
Yeah. When you catch those artists that are on tour and they're sleep deprived and maybe hungover if they're in a certain scene, and they have zero patience, those are the ones that suck. Usually, and you have to deal with that. But hopefully they have like a tour manager that can can I work with you? Not, he's an asshole.
Do you remember your first tough crowd?
Tough crowd.
Was it with tables or no tables?
Right. There was a few bars. I remember a few tough crowds actually, and they were bars that were not dance clubs, but my buddies owned them. And they were like, oh, Toddy's doing great shows at these other places. Let's stick them at 6th and Congress, where there's kind of a cool little spot, and they're not dance clubs, they're just bars and lounges, and people are just sipping drinks at the bar staring at you. There's no dance floor, and I would pull out all the fucking heaters to try and get them to move. And I remember there was one place, I won't name the names because the buddies are still best friends of mine, but they know. And I was doing monthlies. So every Saturday I had a different place versus every Saturday, which was fun because I could mix it up and be in a different spot. Like I've done the weekly, weeklies are different. Out, totally. And that's how I did most of my DJ career was monthlies, which was great. So every time I went to this one spot, I was like, oh, this is going to suck. One of those gigs where you test new music like we were talking about. It was called Geisha Room, and it was on the corner of 6th and Congress.
I remember that.
And it was just so tough all the time. And the guys are looking at me like, you're doing crazy numbers across the street over here. What's going on? I'm like,
isn't
people
that
don't
a
like
weird
your
phenomenon?
bar. The people that come here are different than the people that go there.
There you go.
Yeah, they just thought, oh, we booked Toddy and it'll go crazy. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do my fair share of booking tables and bottles and getting ticket sales and all that, but there's still like 75% of the other people that are foot traffic and people that you bring in and blah, blah, blah. So
yeah.
It's not always all on me.
Yeah, that's part of DJing.
I know.
Yeah. Well, in Austin, it's about being a promoter and a DJ too. It used to be.
Yeah, it's all on you.
Now. Sometimes
well,
the
for
bars
me-
like go off, they can put anybody in.
Yeah, for me, like I have to promote myself. I mean, that's just part of the job, right?
You're doing your own events though.
Yeah, I do my own events, and see, and that's. Sometimes I have to take a step back and realize that how fortunate I am that I'm able to throw my own events and they're ticketed, and there's nothing wrong with playing at a bar every week and whatever, but I'm actually throwing a show, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, still doing it, man.
I'm very grateful, but what I was gonna say was, just DJing. There are gonna be times when you're not gonna play to anyone. You're gonna play to an empty room.
Yeah,
and there are gonna be times when probably some of the best times you've ever had DJing are when the room's just half full and the crowd is totally locked in. And then sometimes some of the lamest sets you'll ever have, or the worst time that you've ever had, is when the room is completely packed.
Yes.
And that's what happened at the last early dance party.
Okay. What happened?
It was tough, Rachel. It was tough. The room was full. Okay. And I think I told you there was nothing but women in this room. It was amazing. I'm like, whoa.
Like, what's the problem?
That's usually the case.
I was like, hey, ladies.
A couple husbands
like,
in there. It's a ladies' night out thing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, it was like
Kimmy's gone many times without me. I get that.
Nice. There's like 10 women to like each guy, right? But anyways, it was...
Which is a rarity. Let me say this in general, for any venue, it's very rare to have more women than men.
True.
It's always a dude fest.
Yeah, Jeff Scroggin.
Yeah, Jay Scrow.
Yeah, Jay Scrow. He called me on the phone the other day, and we were talking because he had showed up to that party. He was there with Scott. I don't know.
Edmonton?
Yeah. The one that lives in that dome in South Austin. Yeah. And then
different Scott, but I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then this guy that you probably know, but he's about to move. He's about to leave Austin. But he wanted to come out to the early dance party before he left town forever. And so anyways, we talked about that party, and he was just like, Mel, like, it was wild because it was nothing but women. And I had women walking up to me, and Jeff's married and he has a kid, and Claire's fantastic and everything. Yeah, but he was like, Mel, you got a really good thing going on. And then you had pizza there. It was crazy. And it was like this, it was the best idea. And I got home, I was home before midnight, and he was like, Mel, that was so awesome. But that night was so hard because at the beginning of the night, I was just having the best time ever.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that feeling. And then they come in.
And then
these people get there.
And then no, there were a lot.
Them.
There were plenty of people in that room already. And then there was this group of 4 women that walked in. I could tell that they didn't know, clearly they didn't know anything about the event. They probably just heard the music from walking past. And so they paid they paid the cover or whatever
Yeah.
to get in, and they were right in front of the stage, up against the barricade. And this girl kept on looking at me and like was waving at me. Man, this is early. This is like maybe 9 o'clock. And she kept looking at me and she said, play Metallica. And I'm going like, what like play Enter Sandman. And I'm going,
you have never been here.
I'm like, what? Like, it's too early for that. And they kept, and it was the classic, I know every routine when it comes to requests.
Yes.
Every method of how getting your request.
Absolutely.
So it starts off, and this is the classic one. They start off requesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of wave it off or whatever. And then soon after, they send every person from that group they walk up to you and ask for the same song.
This is so foreign to me.
You know what I mean?
I didn't have this.
And I'm like, it's too early for that. And then I got to the point where like, they were so annoying, and I got on the mic and I'm like, hey guys, it's too early for that. And then I said, who even wants to hear Metallica in this room right now? And everyone's like, it's kind of crickets.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so I kept playing, and
Nice.
I kept doing my thing, but it just planted this weird seed in my head.
I know
it
the
just,
feeling.
It changed the mood for me.
Yep.
To where like, cause they kept staring at me, like waiting for me to play that song. And I just kept my head down and I was just focused. It went from being joyful to work.
Yeah.
And I was doing my thing. I didn't half-ass it. I didn't phone it in. I just did what I did. I was focused. And there were a few times I would look up and it was bananas. It was bananas. All these women were just going off. But I was just so focused because I didn't want to I didn't want to see eye to eye with these women. And there was one in particular that was just sitting up against the barricade, just looking at me, staring at me. Why don't you play something we could dance to? I'm like, do you know where you are right now? Look behind you. There's like 300 women dancing, jumping up and down, and you're just standing there because you want to hear Metallica. You know what I mean? And so
random.
Yeah.
That's
Read
not
the
really,
room.
yeah.
yeah. And so it got to the point where like it was so crazy. I mixed it in and at the perfect time, not when they wanted it and everyone lost it and they were like, oh, jumping up and down. And I got on the mic and I turned the music off. See, I told you I was going to play the shit, right? And I looked at them. I'm like, can we be friends now? Are we friends now? Are we friends again? Are we cool now? Okay, cool. And I let the song play and they were happy after that. But it was just hard because typically I have a thicker skin than that, but that particular night, it just it turned into work.
Yeah. No.
And and at the end of the night, I'm so hard on myself. And folks, if you don't know this, if you don't know me, haters, whatever, like, dude, you can hate on me all you want. There's no one harder on myself than me. Okay. I'm telling you that right now, guys. I don't care who you are. You could say whatever you want, but it ain't nothing compared to what I put myself through in my head.
Yeah.
And so after that set, I sat there and I was so hard on myself because I'm like, why did you even acknowledge them? And then second, like maybe my set wasn't great or whatever, you know, like maybe you should have really let that go and really take in the set and like really appreciate the fact that these folks are like having a great time and they're free from, you know, worry and whatever, and they're having fun. And I remember just being really disappointed in myself after the set, you know, and that's really tough when, I don't know, it was just tough. And that's just part of DJing. You know, I haven't experienced that in so long. And that was what was disappointing because Jeff was there and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And he used to see back in the day when I used to have problems with people that would request music. You know what I mean? To where they were just kind of aggressive and mean about it. Jeff would be there all the time with Claire. And so I'm so far removed from that now, but for him to be there after like a couple of years of not seeing me and then him experiencing that, I'm like, I was really bummed out because I feel like I've graduated from that. But when we talked on the phone, he's like, dude, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he was just like, dude, I had the best time. And there's like women were hitting on me. And it's not like he was getting off on that, but it was just weird because he's a dad. You know what I mean? So I guess there were just a bunch of thirsty women in there. And he just like, well, dude, there were like women hitting on me, and I got to eat pizza and da 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 da.
Great,
One of
great
four
night.
men.
Pizza and Mel.
Yeah, and he, anyways,
You are your worst critic though, because we all know like some of your worst sets you think were the worst, and I fucked the whole thing up. Blah blah. Blah. People don't see 99% of that
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
sure.
So
that-
it's always
yeah.
going to be great.
Yeah, and that's if I had to, dole out advice for any DJ, but be hard on yourself because that's what makes you better. But also be aware that all the mistakes that all the mistakes throughout, that you have during a set, no one notices.
Yeah.
None.
So when you said that you really haven't experienced that, is it
Yeah.
because the genre that I'm assuming it's the house music, EDM?
Yeah, that-
type?
yeah,
We
crowd.
don't get
It's-
as many
it's
open
ki-
format requests.
It's not the popular necessarily like pop music 4448888. Well, I mean it is, but it's like
But like those places that Geisha Room that I was telling you, the tough
Oh,
tough crowd.
yeah.
Those are what I would get requests, and I would just
Impulsive,
be like,
yeah.
I don't have it.
yeah.
Right.
It was pretty easy to get out of those
Yeah.
situations. But like
Yeah.
if you play in certain venues, like you guys play mostly, you get a lot of that. You gotta
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
play it or not. Or that game to me is so foreign, right? Because you probably have it. I just never would have it because it would be something that was just like not house music.
Yeah, that was just completely
know.
out of your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
So I
Like,
was an easy out.
Yeah.
yeah. When we had the ACL girls here, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
When we had, what's it? Is it Emily? It was Kendall and
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
God, my memory's so
Well, it
bad.
was Emily, right?
No, it was.
Who cares? It was Sam.
Okay, it was Sam. Which way they were both great, and we were talking about DJing. And I remember listening to that podcast, a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we were talking about DJing and just how there's just this low bar for DJs now. What I meant to say was the barrier of entry is low
Technical
now.
barrier. Yeah.
The barrier of it, like we're talking financially.
Yes.
You don't have to. There's not this massive investment
Yeah.
to get into it, right?
Yeah.
Because controllers are cheap now. You can download music. You don't have to buy 2 turntables and a mixer.
Yeah. Spotify
and,
list.
And you don't have to go over to, you don't have to
do
go
anything.
you don't have to go to the local record store and really dig and
You
this,
do it on
that,
your
yeah.
phone on an app now.
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to sound like a hater because I wasn't trying to hate. After listening to it, I also realized that I think the part of the reason why folks wanted to DJ now, I think it's an extension of playlist culture on Spotify because everyone's sharing their music, like their playlists that they make.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an extension of that. Okay, well, how about this? I want to share my music that I'm into to folks live, whether it's at my house or a little get together or whatever. It's an extension of that playlist culture that the playlists that they're sharing, when they're sending out their link on social media or like texting it to a friend. Hey, I just made a playlist. You should check this out. I think it's an extension of that. And I think the reason why it's just easier to do that now because the barrier of entry is low.
Well, I think they should call it something else. It's like, we love playlists. You can call it like creator of playlist creator, live format.
But
like
no, but
DJing is just, I don't know.
But I think that also there's that curiosity. I think there's a lot of people that want to demystify DJing, right? They want to demystify it because I've always wondered like what it's like to DJ or like how they do it. So there's a lot also that as well. And it's not like there's plenty of DJs that just play the song and then they just let it fade out and then play the next song. There's a lot of that still, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also a lot of DJs that they're curious about the actual mixing. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying that all DJs just want to automatically like play the one of the stages, at Coachella or anything like that. But there are also a lot of people that they're genuinely curious about how it's done and how to do it. And also they love music.
Yeah. And I can get behind anybody that's excited about music. I mean, kudos. Like, I feel like go for it. Like, share your playlist. If you want to be a DJ and do that, that's your life and that's your choice and you'll have adventures. for folks like myself, it was important to learn on dinosaurs and teach myself. It took about 8 months to understand. You don't start on the 2, because I was a percussionist as well. You start on the 1. So there's not this weird echo. How long did it take you to learn how to beat match?
Oh, great question.
When you first understood what it was and then you got at it. Yeah.
Well, I was a student for a while before I was messing around. So
Yeah.
I was watching the guys and I understood the counts.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But back then on records, man, you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
count it. You had to learn by ear and
Yeah.
know the record and know how
Yeah.
to, for one, just to read a record.
Read a record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
The
you know,
grooves and everything.
Or
Yeah.
you know where the break is on
Yeah.
the track.
absolutely. Which before
It's
I
like
was
the darker.
taking it,
It's a it's like the darker
or
set of
you
grooves.
could read the breakdown.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
there was less groove. Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably years, probably under a year-ish, you
Yeah.
know, just dicking around, playing at those clubs before they opened and stopping, starting, going
Yep.
again. I mean, let's be honest, it's house music. It's not rocket science. 4 on the floor is pretty easy to mix. It's probably the
It
easiest
is.
genre to mix. So it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
But it was, I think, figuring out the music, what goes with what
Yes.
was more part of it.
Telling
and
a
then
story.
where to
Yeah.
blend
Yes.
intro, outro, because again, reading records.
Yeah.
And sometimes there was no breakdown in some of that stuff. Sometimes there was a long outro. And if you miss, you know, so
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, once I was starting to get comfortable with records and go into the record store, and that was a whole nother great being here today, you know, before
Yeah.
I talked with you
Yeah,
guys,
I saw
the
you walking down the
nostalgia
aisle-
of digging
aisles,
for
yeah.
records.
Yeah.
Oh, I was over there for 20 minutes in the dance section. I was like, this is awesome. I missed this. Like,
Yeah.
but that part of that is the more you bought records, the more you learn the records and you play the records and you get to know the records. So, you know, to answer
Yeah.
your question, I'd say under a year probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was so nervous when I first started.
Me
I
too.
think everybody probably
I was like
but-
kind of like shaking, like, oh, I hope the
Yeah.
stylist doesn't feel
Yeah,
my shakes.
Totally. And I remember being like, oh, like if at our after hours, I would get a slot or something, usually an early one, you know, and all the guys were there who are legends and playing in front of your best friends who are all your favorite
Yeah.
DJs.
Heart Attack City.
Oh, it's worse
yeah.
than 100 people in the club to have 4 of your best friends there.
I
They're
know
like
it.
legends.
Yes.
I don't miss those.
Hopefully they
days,
gave you
but-
some grace. Yeah.
No, they did. And
Yeah.
I played the deeper stuff. So it was always warm up.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of fell into that genre
Uh-huh.
and then they would always play the later stuff. So it worked.
Did you have any like equipment? Well, what was your equipment that your hardware that you chose? And then did you have like fun stuff? Like sometimes I would get like a turntable lamp just because it was so dark in the certain venues. I'm
I
just
still
like,
have
I
it.
can't even see this.
I still have it actually.
You just clamp it on.
No,
Yeah.
it's a little guy and the wiener is the switch.
Nice.
Oh shit!
But I learned on 2 techniques in a Vestax mixer.
Oh,
There you go.
wow.
Oh,
okay.
I take that back. It wasn't a Vestax. I learned on a Rain rotary.
Hey,
It was hard. The
Oh, those are
M60,
kinda
I
coming
think.
back.
yeah, it's the
Uh-huh.
wide one. Yeah, right.
Jason Jenkins at Paradox.
Paradox. Nice.
Yeah, that was when I was one of those places that I
Yeah.
would play before nobody would get there. Jenkins was the resident there at the
I
time.
remember Jenkins, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Jenkins Hypersonic Radio.
Yeah.
That was another good story to go into about Hypersonic Radio. That was a fun time. But that Rain would set you up for any mixer. There was no cues. You had to listen to one ear.
Yeah.
You can listen to both headphones. You obviously rotary is different.
Yeah.
And so after I learned on that mixer, everything was easy.
Yeah,
You know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It
I've
was
only
2
had-
Technic 1200.
yeah.
so
I've
for
only
sure.
had to play on a rotary once.
Yeah, they're still around.
That'll
They're coming back. It's like a
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
fashion
dude.
statement now.
Yeah,
Oh, totally. There's- yeah, that's
The
like a-
sound
it's a-
heads are into
Yeah, it's
it.
like all the like the beat digger like house disco guys. They're all on rotaries, right?
yeah.
But yeah.
I've seen a resurgence of that.
Yeah, I've only
It looks cool, like old hardware from like the 50s.
Yeah. It's like looking at two
Navy
amps. You're
Navy,
like, "What is
submarine
that?"
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, I've only had to play on a rotary once, and it definitely put hair on my chest.
Is it really sensitive? Like I've never
Yes.
played on one.
No,
Yeah.
like
It's just different.
it's just different. I mean, when you're dealing with like faders, you're just pushing it up, down, like you're twisting a knob, like
Okay.
like imagine a home stereo volume knob.
Yep.
That's what you're doing,
So
right?
you can't make a false move, otherwise it goes super
very
loud.
technical.
It
Yeah.
was
like the guys that use them are very
trying
very
to play.
technical.
Yeah, try to play hip hop records on that.
I don't think that's even a thing.
I
That
Dude,
you?
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I
is that
did
a
it.
sadist or masochist? I don't know which. You
I know.
have to
Yeah.
be so quick on hip
One
hop.
time.
Yes,
One time.
that's right.
One time in New York.
Transitions are much quicker.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. I walked in the booth, and this is when I was still like rolling around with the Rub guys from New York. And Joe 11 used to play at this, I don't even know the bar. I totally forgot, or the club, the nightclub, but it was in the meatpacking district. And he was like, hey, dude, I want you to play with me here. And yeah, this was Serato, right? So I just remember walking into that booth, like, holy shit, it's a rotary mixer. And so, like, you're just basically just blending. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I mean, I was just mixing from,
set your limitations to a realistic expectation of how to deal with that.
it will put hair on your chest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
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 Golly.
It made playing on anything else just cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cake. And I didn't use crossfaders.
Yeah.
House DJs really don't use crossfaders.
Yeah.
So I never had that.
Uh-huh.
I knew how to use it, but
Yeah.
we were using levels.
Yeah. So you mentioned Paradox. Did you
Yeah.
ever DJ any of like the foam parties? You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I first started. Well, I mean, I snuck into Paradox underage as
There
a
you go.
fan to go to the phone parties. And then when I started working for Jameel, he put me at Paradox first. So I was
Okay.
maybe 22 years old. Like I was a young buck. And Jason would have me warm up, and then Jason would be the headliner.
Yeah.
And then 101X would be there doing the radios. Toby Ryan would do every Saturday, and that's when those phone parties were. He was the afternoon. He was the afternoon in person 101X guy.
That building is long gone, right? Is it still around?
I think it is. It's just empty. It's by
I
the
think it's an event.
fireplace.
You don't know.
Well, no, I think they were going to knock it down. I know that across the street is still up and running. It is. I just drew a blank, but it's Copper Tank.
Is that still
It
around?
is now Copper Tank Event Space, and it's been Copper Tank for 30 years probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
across the street. And
I'm
I
glad
think,
that's still around.
I mean, we're talking about right next to Antone's, and in the corner, I think it's just an event space now. I don't think they knocked that down because you got to take that whole corner down. And they haven't. Antone's is still around. And that
Antone's ain't going anywhere.
That
They just-
Russian restaurant is still there.
Yeah.
And the fire
Russian
station's
house.
across the street.
Yeah, what Eddie V's is next door.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
yeah.
that whole block.
Yeah. Antone's ain't going anywhere because
Yeah.
I think they just signed a 50-year lease.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, which
That's
is
awesome.
Yeah, which secures
Yeah,
that location
sure.
for them, and it's a great place. And Antone's that's an iconic name and a
Absolutely.
venue, and I have played there a handful of times, and every time I go there, I'm thinking to myself, okay, one, it's a great room, and then second, where they're located is so perfect because there's a hotel
Yeah.
directly across the street. So if you're like a blues fan and you're like some tourist, you could just stay at that hotel and then just walk right across the
Nice.
street,
Yeah.
go check out
Super
shows the
easy.
entire
I mean, there's
time.
hotels
Perfect.
all over their place now. The landscape has changed in downtown Austin.
It sure has. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what lane you're supposed to drive in sometimes. You're like,
yeah,
now
there's
I
a
got to
car
go over
coming
here.
at you.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, this is one way.
There
this
needs
way.
to be more paint on this asphalt for me to know what lane I'm in. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my God.
I'm sure you have a lot of insight on this. You know, I DJ'd at the Sea Home Power Plant a few weeks ago, and I spent a lot of time just when we weren't rehearsing, and they pushed us outside. They pushed us out of the building, and I just sat outside and I was just looking around, going, man, I remember when this was a dirt field, and just looking at the buildings around. I'm like, man, this is crazy. You know what I
Seaham
mean?
is really cool now that it's not the power plant.
Mm.
As far as like, it's a little district.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
some cool restaurants.
Trader Joe's, yeah.
Yeah. But the actual power plant is like a mixed use mini mall businesses, a couple restaurants down there now. It's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Seahome condos are right there. So there's residencies. That whole block, though, is pretty cool. I like that Austin utilized that space to do something cool. Because, like, if you're driving into Austin and you see the power plant sign, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they didn't take that away.
Yeah, that's really
Keep
cool.
a little of that OG Austin stuff.
While waiting outside that day that I played there was this restaurant there. I forgot the name of it, but I was hungry. I wanted to go eat. So on the menu, they had these like chicken strips or whatever. And I'm like, air fried chicken strips and fries. I'm like, ooh, that sounds kind of cool. I've never had anything air fried. Dude, don't ever get air fried anything.
What does it taste like? Nothing?
Like wood.
Oh, it's really hard?
Like Rapper's Delight. Remember that?
Chicken
tastes like wood. Yeah, it was like that.
Air fried seems
mean,
like it's a healthier option.
Air frying is a movement.
It is.
It's a thing.
But maybe that was a lame example
Yeah.
of air frying, but maybe there are better
I
examples
think they
of
fucked
it.
up your chicken. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
I was really
Should be light and
Overcooked it 'cause
fluffy.
Yeah.
You can overcook it and it tastes like wood. So
Exactly.
that would make sense.
Or rubber.
Yeah.
Bark. Yeah. Combination of rubber and bark. Yeah. You got to throw a lot of ketchup on it.
No, exactly. It was really interesting. But that sea back to the sea home area, it
Yeah.
was just really interesting because I was like, I don't feel like this is like something new to me.
And we have a lot of those little districts around town now. Because
Yeah.
downtown, not to go off on Austin real estate, but 10, 15 years ago, 08 really, the first building started coming and people
Yeah.
didn't gobble them up because there was no infrastructure to live downtown.
Yeah.
But now is totally different. You can live downtown, work downtown, play downtown. A lot of people come from big cities, don't have cars. I see it all the time because they work at Facebook, Google, Oracle, all these big buildings right there. And at the bottom of all those condos is your liquor store, your nail salon, your hair salon. The Royal Blue is down there. You don't have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Whole Foods, you don't have to. Then there's bars down here and you got boutique shopping. Like you can have company in town and take them out and never leave your little block down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's-
kind of like
and I like that about
like,
Austin.
is that
That's
like the walkability score?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to call it walkability anymore, actually.
Oh, what are we
I
doing
think
now?
that,
Drop some knowledge.
I
Come
think from what I've heard is, because it's being politically correct here,
Okay.
the handicap had a problem with it being called walkability because not everyone is able to walk. So I think now it's supposed to be accessibility.
That sounds
Heard it here
kind of
first.
generic. It's like, what about the mobility score? Just mobility score.
Or how easy is it to get to things score.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave your
Wow.
microcosm score.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, there's some other things happening too. I'm in real estate, so there's a lot of words that have kind of over sensitive
course.
times have come.
Yeah.
But this is the newest that I've heard is the walkability
Yeah.
score, or walkability.
Yeah.
Is no longer primary bedroom or master bedroom.
Yeah, you
it's
can't.
Primary bedroom.
Well, I don't know if you can't say that, but people don't say that. Yeah, you don't say master.
I
they say
slip all the
primary.
time.
Well, me too, because we
People
come
know
from both
me.
worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anyway, but
There's a few of those little things now. but-
So let's talk about we're gonna simplify things. We talked about 2 Desert Storm albums. Let's just make it one song. Okay, make it one desert island castaway record and one track that you can't stand. I will start. Okay.
okay.
I do not know what that Castaway Desert Island track or album would be. I would have to think about it, but I will say I can mention the song that I can't stand that will always make me angry. Can I mention it?
Go for it.
Cameras, don't get mad when I mention this song because it's annoying. It's annoying. Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. That song drives me crazy.
For how long has it been driving you crazy?
Since the first the second Gulf War, like 2004 or whatever. Because when I was younger, when it first dropped, I was too young. Like I was just dumb. Oh, okay, well, that's a song about the USA. Whatever. I was a kid, and then in 04 or whatever, when I'm an adult and I'm living in Austin, I'm going, and then this is some post 9/11 type shit.
Just too much bravado? Like, what is it about it that you hate it? Like, I feel like they all kind of
'Cause
sound the
Lee
same. They're all
Greenwood
kind of like
talks about
Christian-y sounding,
it-
like Christian gospel.
It's just like, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and then
You're so anti-American.
no,
Mel.
I'm
How
not.
dare
I'm
you.
not. And then like Lee's talking about I'll gladly stand up and defend my country. I'm like, all right, well, it's 2004. How about this? How about we put you on a plane to Afghanistan and you sing that song, or you just defend the country. Now here we are in like 2026. How about, okay, here's your other opportunity. You can go to Iran right now and back up the song you've been singing and defend our country. No. That song just drives me crazy. It drives me
No
crazy.
matter who sings it, or is it the artist and the song?
Both.
Yeah.
The song drives me nuts. I mean, and I'm not here to like, this is not a political podcast, but or whatever, and I don't ever want it to be. And I'm not here about dividing folks, but I'm just being honest. If there's one song that drives me nuts, it's that one. It drives me crazy.
So you never drop that in a DJ set.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
Can you imagine?
No remixes.
How do you get into that song? How do you get out of that song?
Right?
Yeah, it just gets under my skin. I don't know. It's just a weird song. Like, let's do it like on the way home. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a feeling it's kind of like this. So I grew up in a very religious, movers and shakers kind of household, well, like borderline Pentecostal. And my paternal grandfather was a televangelist at one point, and everything was about bravado and showmanship. And I had gone to the Jim and Tammy Faye Baker amusement park in South Carolina to watch my cousin tap dance for Jesus, and like their Schlitterbahn.
Holy shit! For real. I was tap dancing for Jesus. Holy shit!
Yeah, she was in choreography, and so
God
that's a whole nother
damn.
story. So my sister and I are like, let's go check out the Schlitterbahn that Tammy and anyway the Bakers owned. They were in the middle of bankruptcy, so their Schlitterbahn was very eerie. Like they had all these Jesus gnomes in the water slides, and they were all like cobwebs, and someone would like have like a little bit of a jerk, and we would try to go down these, Schlitterbahn slides, and half the time there was no lifeguards there.
God damn.
And so that was a trip. We were just kind of a little bit scarred from that. And then we went into the mall, which was kind of like, I think they're trying to copy Dollywood a little bit. I've never been to Dollywood, but all these or Disneyland, the main street, and half of the shops were closed. And I'm like, where are we? So when I hear about God Bless America and that artist, I'm just kind of like, I feel like that would be the opener to the tap dance. Someone would sing that song. And I would be 13 years old thinking about like, how can I get out of here?
Clickety click.
I am aware. I am aware enough that what I can't stand that same song could be something it could be something that someone else just loves,
Uplifts them.
and uplifts. Dude, do your thing. You know what I mean? Like I always say that whatever you're into musically might not be my cup of tea, but if it really makes you happy and just takes you to that happy place, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But that song gets under my skin. Todd, do you have a track like that?
I do. It's Devo, Whip It. Drives me
Wow,
crazy.
really?
Sorry. Devo fans.
I want to sing the
sorry.
bass line right now, but
Sorry.
I feel like it would
Make
make your blood curl.
It drives me
Dude,
crazy. It's so cheesy. It's so.
I'm going to call your phone one day and leave that track on your
Oh
voicemail.
my God. If you want a new enemy.
No.
Yeah.
that one it gets
Is it
under
just
my
ad
skin.
nauseum at one
Oh,
point in your life?
interesting.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. And those guys are still at it. And
Yeah.
it still pops up. And they still tour. And I'm like, no. Stop, guys. The Bucketheads are done.
Oh
man.
my God,
I
that's
don't know if
funny.
it's not I wasn't into their music.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan. So
Yeah.
it's easy for me to dislike that one song that I think I know of Devo. I
Right.
don't know if anybody did they do any other songs.
Yeah, they have a bunch of other songs. I mean, I forgot there's
They're kind of punky a little
Yeah,
bit.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they-
I don't
they're a
see
little
that
bit.
at all.
Yeah.
I feel like they were like the early
B-52s. Yeah.
80 electronic stuff.
Yeah, I
right?
need-
I just didn't like. Whip It was, and I had this German soccer coach. And he was always on my ass. He was really tough, and that was his favorite song. And so, ever since then, it's been a negative connotation in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Again, no personal vendetta against Devo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
If
that
other-
song.
yeah.
And I think they played Coachella, and I saw a clip of it again. It's funny you asked that question because I saw the clip of it and it was like scroll fast out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should know this, but there's a track that's not Whip It that the Devo guys have been just eating off of for years. I forgot the name of the track.
They're one of their songs.
Yeah,
So they did have another hit.
and it's not Whip It, and it's a track that has done really well over the years, and they've just been living off that, right? I mean, of course, Whip It is a thing. Maybe Rachel will look this up, but
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
good
so-
to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
So
make sure that I don't play
call
that.
me with Whip It on your ringtone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Favorite track that I could listen to over and over and over. This one's pretty easy because I've done it many times. It's I.O. Rapture. It's that, it's a house music song.
Okay.
It was done in the early 2000s. It's a beautiful vocal. If you played it, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a pretty song, and it's not aggressive. And it's like, if I was on an island, it would be a peaceful song to listen to.
Peaceful.
Yeah, you need peace.
If I was on an island by myself,
Yeah,
I want to listen to
peaceful.
one song again. I.O. Rapture.
All right, I think we should talk about our show and tell items.
Love
Okay,
it.
so folks, we've started this. We started it the last episode is the show and tell portion of our show.
Yeah.
Where we ask our guests, and we also bring a music related item that is meaningful to us. And we'll start with Todd.
Sure.
And what did you bring today?
All right. So I got 2 records,
Okay.
music podcast, DJing, all the things. I figured that'd be a good one to do. I'll start out with one of them is from an artist who's a local Austin artist. His name is Jamon Horn.
Show the cameras.
I'm showing this camera right here. Jamon Horn was part of that collective slow motion music. He was one of my best friends that got me into the music. He passed away 10 years ago with throat cancer. He was literally named the godfather of house music by the city of Austin. And he's one of my best friends. Rest his soul. He was an amazing human being, but this is kind of like the shrine above my decks.
Oh,
so
nice.
I took this down. So I still have decks set up at the house in my studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is one of his last EPs he did.
Okay.
Awesome record, some great music on here. So I wanted to bring that just, he's always with us. So
Nice.
and then I brought the first record that I ever had.
Okay.
Sure.
There you
ever
go.
got.
Show that.
Yep.
Yes,
It is
please.
Everything But the Girl. The song Wrong. And it's the Todd Terry mix is the one that I would play. This one has the deep dish mix and the Todd Terry mix, but this was a friend of mine gave it to me, and I actually wrote January 10th,
I
2001.
like writing. Yeah.
So that was this was the first record that started the collection.
Wow.
I almost answered the question with the island, what record I would listen to. I listened to this on the way here just to listen to it again.
Yeah.
This very easily could be a number 2 from I.O. Rapture number 1. This one number 2. It's such a timeless record.
Yeah,
It still hits.
We don't talk about everything but the girl enough.
right.
There's a poster of them right there hanging on the wall right there.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
But
It sums up kind of like my sound, where it's just deep, sexy, got a great vocal in it.
what does the Todd Terry mix sound like?
It's bumping. It's still groovy.
It's bumping? Okay.
It's not like Jamon Jackin' House, but it's groovy. It's good. Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Usually
not too
Todd
deep.
Terry stuff's kind of banging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's that
Yeah.
Chicago house.
Yeah,
he's not that. This is 1996 is when this was made.
Yeah.
It came to my collection in 2001.
Yeah.
So in 96 was a different sound than what Todd Terry, Frankie Knuckles, all those guys. They were kind of like a crew. Todd
Yeah.
Terry, Frankie Knuckles.
Yep.
Some of those OGs, but yeah, I brought 2 records. So my
Nice.
Dude,
boy
thanks.
Jamon, and then my first record ever, which I still have records over the times that I've moved. The collection
Yeah.
has gotten smaller
Yeah.
because I don't play them as much. But now I have like every record I know, every record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
Exactly.
will always, if the boys are asleep
Yeah.
or doing something, I feel guilty if I'm doing it and they're around because I feel like I should be hanging out with them. But if they're doing something and Kim's not working and I'm not working and I've got a break, I always go back and throw on some of that house music from the early 2000s.
Dude.
Could be played today.
Oh,
I
on the
agree.
dance floor
I agree.
and crush it.
Yeah.
Some of the Cascade stuff.
Yeah.
Ohm Record stuff. You know, that whole San Francisco crew that started out in the deep house world. Some of those guys are still doing it.
Yeah, they are.
And this, like Miguel Miggs and those guys. Mark
yeah.
Farina's still doing
Yeah.
it. Like those guys are still doing it.
Yeah,
And the music pretty much has stayed
Heather-
consistent.
yeah, Heather and Colette.
Heather and Colette, shout out for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was my scene. So
Nice.
I still love playing those.
I didn't
those
even know
records.
that Jamon put out a record.
Jamon put out a lot of records. So if you go
Well,
to
I don't even know how I did not, that flew into my radar. Interesting thing about Jamon.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I think I needed to shoot and I still do photography, but when I was really like doing it, I think it was for a magazine or something like that. I had to take photos of DJs, and maybe it was it was called. I think it was Le Privilege at the time. Remember Le
Yeah.
Privilege?
The
That
Caucus
was the
Club,
place that I did
Privilege.
the
Yeah.
first residencies.
Yeah.
At. It was after Caucus Club. It was
Yeah,
the Privilege.
yeah.
That's
So
where I was doing
think-
the like 8 to 10 o'clock sets to learn how to DJ. Was Privilege.
So when? I don't know if it was Le Privilege or if it was or the Caucus
Were you
Club.
shooting for Feedback Magazine?
I don't know what it maybe I
'Cause he
can't.
was in that.
I can't
time frame.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
around that time
yeah.
frame. So I had it. So it was me and Jamon, Corrupt, Baby G. So we all went to the Le Privilege or Caucus or whatever, and I took all these photos, and we wound up not even using the photos.
Oh no.
But I was going through a hard drive recently, and there's all these photos of Jamon.
Oh man, I'd love
and
to
it,
see those.
And it tripped me out.
Mm.
It really tripped me out.
Yeah.
And because he's no longer with us. And I had I unearthed these photos after many years, well over 20 years.
Yeah.
So to see that was just really like sobering to see that. And how, I don't know, and just knowing how much he meant to our community here.
Absolutely. I mean, the city made a day for him.
Yeah.
The godfather of house music in Austin. Like
Mm-hmm.
that says enough right there. But he was like the guy that he came up with like Defuse, and that was like late 90s when house music in Austin was really rising. He was one of the first like real house DJs, and everybody wanted to be like Jamon. Everybody wanted to hang with Jamon. He was 6'4" and just commanded a presence.
He was a
and-
really tall guy. Yeah.
and he cut hair, and so he cut half of Austin's hair. So he
Nice.
was very fashionista stylist, and unfortunately he got throat cancer, beat it, and then it came back with a vengeance and just took him
Jeez.
out. So
Yeah.
horrible tragedy, way too soon. But
Yeah.
shout out Jamon.
That's
Rest in
probably one of the
peace.
worst cancers to live through, throat
Yeah.
cancer.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
tough time, and it happened a second time really quick.
Okay.
We got calls, not to go into it, but we got
Yeah.
calls like, "Hey, you need to come to the hospital."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
wow.
course.
Pay your respects, basically. And
That's
we were
sobering.
like, "What? We were going to lunch 2 months ago."
know.
Like, what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
It
sobering.
was crazy. Yeah.
So
Life is precious.
Yep, it is.
what did you bring?
Well,
For show and
I was
tell.
looking at my record collection, and I am more of a 80 to 112 BPM kind of lady.
Love it.
But I like it all. And so I'm like, what was I into that was like higher than that? It's drum and bass.
I love it.
So do you remember Alien Records?
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
where
it's DJ Herb.
That's where we all started shopping at.
Okay.
You
this is
pronounce
from
his
Alien.
last name is Agapitus, right?
Yeah,
Is that how you
close
pronounce
enough.
it? Herb? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the Alien Records.
Ram
love
trilogy.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's two guys that collaborated with this guy who calls himself Ram or something like that. And maybe you guys can fill in the blanks. But I just moved here in '98. I bought this, I think, before I started working here at Waterloo at 2000, so maybe '99. And I put all these records. There's like 4 of them.
Wow.
Dude, is DJ Crust oh my God, I'm always forgetting.
But there's, I think, 4 records, and 5 records.
That's an album.
Okay, so I didn't really have that much experience other than like in the 80s putting records on turntables, but the 33 and the 45 options on the turntable, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I played it on 33 and I'm like, cool, this is a nice grooving tune. And then I played it on 45. I'm like, what is this option? And I'm like, this
Changes
is
the
cool
game.
too. And so you know how you could split a BPM in half and it's a totally different feel. It's like hip hop versus like, I guess, drum and bass. I don't know. And so before you all got here, I went to this turntable and I put it on. I pressed 33 and I pressed 44 or 45, and I'm like, they both sound good. I don't even know what is the original BPM on this
the
thing.
drum and bass dudes. Yeah, like their records were always like
Crazy.
I think they were always on 45.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Even coming today, I'm like, is it 45 or 33? Because I'm digging the 33 sound because I'm the lower BPM.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to this on Spotify before I got here just to refresh my memory. And I was just like, this is great because it has influence of like industrial and a little bit of house, like Snap House, and like the artist Snap, and a little bit of trip hop or Portishead kind of feel. It's kind of dark, but also some of them like Snakebite is like on the up, and it's like, anyway, I was just kind of like, this is great, but I didn't understand how to work a turntable. I was like, what is a 3345? So that's what I brought. I was just like, okay, that reminds me.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And then I'm a Peanuts fan. It's Charles Schultz. This is just
Is that the one Turntable Lab put out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peanuts comics.
Yeah. This is impractical for hip hop because this is just for like you're at your house and you have a nice turntable and you put a record on. You're not trying to like mix this because you need it to be real slippery with hip hop. But I love it, and the thing is, it gets covered up. So I'm just like, why do I even have this on a slip mat? Yeah. And this last thing has nothing to do with music. We were just circling back to NASA. I went to NASA with my mom in December, and I'm like, let's get some pictures done. And so we didn't know what we got ourselves into. We just punched a bunch of pictures. And so this is my mom flying into space.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because if you ever met my mom, you would say that, with all due respect, mother, that your feet are never on the ground.
Yeah.
So she's a very whimsical woman, and I love her for that. So yeah, so back to NASA. But yeah, these are like little kind of like, I guess, totems of just timestamps of, I think all music is.
Do you have a lot of that stuff in your studio at home?
What
Just
stuff?
Trinkets.
Not too many trinkets, but like, yes, things. Yeah, it definitely
like
is
your
like
show and tell collection could be pretty
it's half like art museum and half like Hobby Lobby.
There you go.
And I'm still building and shaping it. The reason why I couldn't listen to these records on my own system is because I bought 2 new speaker stands from Sweetwater.
nice.
And I haven't put them together because I didn't want to put them on the wall. So it's always morphing into, it's only 100 square feet and I just have to make it work. And so,
Same.
yeah. So,
And I got kid shit bringing me arts and crafts presents that I'm like, I'll keep that. I'm like, okay, that was 10 years ago now.
I feel like if you open up any musician or musical person's soul, you open up their music room, and that's what their soul looks like in terms of that. So I think it's like,
when you emailed that, I was like, the show and tell thing, bring show and tell. I was like, oh my God, I have a box of show and tell stuff. And I just kept it simple.
Fun.
But old flyers and lanyards.
Oh,
from early parties, drumsticks that I kept from rock and roll shows in high school that I was like, I got the stick. I got the stick.
Oh my God.
I got to meet the Deftones when I was in, 15 years old at Liberty Lunch, and I got a stick, and they invited me back on their tour bus and played Nintendo with them. And
that's a big thing for
Wow.
a
dude, they're
growing
still
boy.
one of my favorite. They're
dude,
still
they're
one of my
awesome.
favorite bands of all times.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were opening for Korn. Korn hadn't even made it yet.
Oh, wow.
And so they were the opening act, and I had they put out their first album before they were anybody.
Yeah.
Can I
a Deftones fan.
Nice.
Chino is one of my favorite rock stars, and he ended up turning into a DJ.
Oh.
I went to one of he had a South by DJ gig show.
Who?
Chino Moreno.
Oh, Chino.
The lead
Okay.
singer
No,
of
no,
Deftones.
yeah. Well, interesting thing about that Liberty Lunch show was the label that Korn was on, Immortal Records.
Okay.
I used to work for that label.
Wow.
And because
You worked at Alien, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Okay.
I worked here.
But at the same time as Alien?
Kind
no.
of.
What's up?
Well,
Was that at the same time as Alien was open, but you were here?
Yeah.
Okay, Got you.
Okay.
A lot like the guys who ran the store, especially when there was a time period when Herb wasn't around, and the 2 guys that were running the store while he was away,
Mark?
It was Gil,
yeah.
and then I forgot the other guy. He was like this kind of like crotchety, salty dude. I forgot his name.
His name is Mark.
Is it Mark? No,
He
no.
wasn't a DJ, right?
He wasn't. He was kind of like this indie rock dude. He was just always salty or whatever. But anyways, anyways, those 2 guys were Waterloo alumni. And Herb was also,
Oh, I didn't know
because Herb
that.
was
That's
like
cool.
the dance music buyer for Waterloo.
Interesting.
That's the other thing I forgot.
No, that's a good fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about the Liberty Lunch show, I worked for Korn's record label, but when I started working for the label, Korn wasn't even in the picture yet. The artist that I was doing marketing for here in Texas was, at the time was Funk Dubious, a bunch of rap artists,
Cypress Hill.
the Judgment Night soundtrack. Well, Cypress Hill, the thing about Cypress Hill was they were under the Buzztone management umbrella, and Cypress Hill and House of Pain were managed by Buzztone. Anyways, Immortal signed Korn, and they're like, hey, yeah, Mel, we signed this group, this, that, and the other. They're called Korn, this, that, and the other. So anyways, that first record came out. They went on the road to support it, right? And I was at that show.
Yeah, 94?
I think it was 94-ish.
92 to 94.
Around that time period.
Yeah.
And anyways, like I worked for that label, and whenever Korn was like in Texas, I had to travel with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
That's
then
cool.
And I've already mentioned this a million times. And then they loved like my work or whatever. Like I worked well with the band, and also like I worked my ass off for the label, and they're like, hey, in the summer of 97, they're like, hey, we want you to tour with Korn on the Lollapalooza tour. And so, I toured with them in 97. With another guy from Sony Music. But man, it was just such a small world, right? You know, you were at that show. Yeah. I was at the show, but I wasn't hanging out in the bus or anything.
Yeah, well, that was a fluke.
That was very cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was one of the, I tell that story often.
Yeah.
About the guy that was with me. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were just super fans, and I ended up catching the stick, and we were like, let's go around back.
That's awesome.
Catch him when they go from the building, the 10 steps to the bus.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him to sign the
Huge
stick.
core memory for you.
Man, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. I have a lot of those. Super blessed to grow up in Austin around music.
I know.
No,
The
it's so
shit that
charming.
we have access to, and like
We
best
tend to
city in the
forget
world,
that,
in my
right?
opinion.
Yeah.
You don't realize it when you've lived here for a long time. You just kind of take things for granted, right?
Yeah, it's not that way anymore though. Everybody's got a security guard or a team.
Yeah,
You
definitely. There's definitely not like
Now
that.
the artists that I like have met throughout this process, like Cascade is one that I use as an example because y'all know him, and like I paid $500. He slept on my couch. He was nobody at the time.
Wow.
And now to see him, like he had like Coachella last night. He's done that many times. His career has blossomed, but now to get to him, I have to go through his team. You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, it's interesting.
I get it.
Yeah,
but he's been a homie. He's stayed real.
Sure.
So
that's good.
he's stayed real. He's one of the probably the most popular guys that I've stayed in touch with. He's always put me in touch with his new managers over the years. So if they come to town, I'll text Bubba's his manager now. Hey, we're coming. Okay,
Bubba.
I got you. Yeah, Bubba's. He's managed Diplo, all kinds of people.
Yeah, it's interesting that
you know Bubba.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever met him.
Big tall guy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Shout out Bubba Cascade.
Yeah. I'm amazed that he's still around. You know what I mean? Because
killing it. He's evolved with the music.
No,
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, because there was a time when all those house dudes weren't really relevant.
Right.
When it went back underground, right?
Sure.
But now house, that as a genre, and there's so many subgenres of house. I mean, it's everywhere now. I mean, it's like the most popular genre. When I was talking to Jeff on the phone recently, and we were talking about just what's going on in Austin right now with just DJ culture, and he had a good way of putting it. He said the DJ scene in Austin is healthy because there's all these genres and subgenres. Everyone's doing their own thing, and it's super fucking cool. Because he mentioned what's going on like up in North Austin, what Brett Johnson's doing in that one venue. And then there's another spot, like Jeff was telling me that Richard Mueller bought like this function.
This Function One, sorry.
Function One, like PA. And he set up shop in some venue or whatever. And so like, it's like this, where I don't know what it is, this empty room with this state-of-the-art PA and
throwing parties again.
Yeah. And Richard, like,
I saw him during South by. Damon Williams
Yeah.
came into town. We do some real estate stuff together, but he had told me about that. You should go to his party. He's doing parties again. I mean, this is a guy who like retired 5 times
I
from the
know.
scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, and
I
I
know
saw
that
him,
feeling.
and I saw him during South by. I'm like, what are you doing? Tell me about the sound system. Are you trying to throw parties again? He's like, no, I just want to get my friends together, man, and play
I
music. I'm
know,
like, your kids
yeah.
must be grown. He's like, I never had kids. I was like, okay,
That makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
And the way Jeff told me, the way Richard rationalized it was, when you get to be my age, or like our friend group, you're either like, most of them are buying like a Porsche, like Knick-Knack or whatever. I'm not gonna buy a Porsche. I bought a Function One sound system, and I'm like,
No joke
holy
either.
shit.
Yeah, that's a nice little sound system just to pick up.
Yeah.
Throw in the warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to hear it from Jeff, you know,
Yeah.
because him and I see it eye to eye on a lot of things. And for him to kind of say it in a very positive way, that the
Yeah.
scene is very healthy here, and that, yeah, there's the obvious like house music stuff that everyone's trying to do, but there's all this other cool shit that's not really like being talked about on social media, or, you know, whatever.
More
that-
underground.
more underground.
Yeah,
and
they're
it's very
always
hel-
had that underground scene. Like that, I'd say house music, electronic music is the biggest it's ever been,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Probably times 10.
Yeah.
You've got the Fishers, the John Summits that are doing the Moody Theater.
yeah.
You know, that's 20,000 people. That's insane. Back in the day, we had 500 people. We were happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone come and did the music hall, right?
Yeah,
Like a Fat
yeah.
Boy Slim.
Yeah, who just
At
played
the-
last weekend?
at the music hall. Well, I don't even know what the cap is in that room. Maybe 2,000,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
2,500.
Yeah,
Back in the day, it was a big deal.
sure.
But now, you know, they're playing,
Yeah,
You know,
headlining Coachella.
yeah, or like
yeah.
playing a big room like the Moody Center, or
Yeah.
it's, you know,
I
it's,
love it. I think it's great for house music.
No, I
Perry's
think
tent
it's
is
great.
bigger than, not the main stages at Lala, but it's, what is it, the third biggest? You got the 2 mains, and then Perry's is probably the next biggest stage.
maybe third,
Okay.
fourth in line, or
I mean,
whatever.
that says a
but
lot.
when
I remember when you started it.
It's like yeah, there's like
It was in the trees with like a tent roof
yeah,
and a
yeah.
decks with like a stage that was a foot off the ground.
Yeah, and
I was
we had-
there.
Yeah, we had
Perry's won.
yeah, we had, who did we have? We had DJ AM. and
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
had, yeah, and I brought in all my friends in to DJ. Yeah, I mean,
Just the
it's
growth of the music.
come a long way.
Is insane. I love being a part of it all.
Let me talk about what I brought for show and tell.
Dun dun dun.
Your eyes just got really big.
Dude, this is funny.
I'm excited.
Because we talked about this before we started recording, but when I was a kid, I loved this song. It is so jamming. It is such a great dance song. It is so good. It is so good. And I always wanted to buy it. I always wanted to go to the record store and buy it, but I never bought it because I was so like afraid of what the cashier or the record store clerk would think of me if I walked up with it. And I just bought it at the record convention from my friend's booth at the record convention. But now I don't care. But when you're like this self-conscious kid, right, and you're just not sure about yourself, yeah, you're going to be a little embarrassed because you just don't know better. But now I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But this record is the shit. And it's Man to Man meet Man Parish male stripper. And the reason why I didn't want to walk up to the counter, because look at the dude. He's like half naked, right?
And what is his other hand doing?
He's
What is
pulling
he-
his belt off. He's about to
He's
rip it off.
He's about to pull his. Yeah, man. And like, I was just like, you know, I was just worried that walking up to the counter with it, like the guy's like, really, dude? You know, but now I don't care. Dude, this song jams. This song is the shit.
What's the song called again?
It's called Male Stripper. That's
course
the
it
other
is.
thing.
Totally blocked that out.
Oh man, you didn't say that earlier.
I just was looking at the visual.
Male Stripper. It is so good.
Unbelievable.
And
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I finally bought it 6 months ago or whatever, like at the last Austin
Oh,
record
only
convention.
6 months ago?
Or like whenever the last record convention was.
Wow. I thought you were talking about like 5 years ago.
No, but when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
always wanted to buy it.
Okay.
I would always, because I knew the song and I would see it in the rack, but I'm like, God, should I buy this? And I'm like, I don't want to walk up to the counter. I don't want this like hoity, like this snooty record store clerk walking, like looking at me going like, really, dude? You know what I mean? Like, you really want this record? But dude, it's so jamming.
I mean, you could have had a residency at the Chain Drive.
Oh, the Cockpit. My favorite name for a gay bar ever.
Yes.
Yo, that's a great name.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cockpit?
Yeah.
I mean, that just screams a great time.
That track is jamming. But if you want a more up-to-date version of it, what is it called? What is it called? Purple Disco?
Yeah,
No.
Purple Disco Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a remix of it, and
Of
that's
course.
jamming too.
Yeah.
It's one German guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He's huge.
The
right
Machine of One.
now. Machine of One.
Yes.
Yeah.
But-
Pretty popular guy.
Yes, he is.
But that is my show and tell item for this week.
Woohoo.
I think you take the
Wow.
award for best album cover.
Best scandal in the podcast room so far.
So crazy, dude.
You
I want to see you cut out a picture of your head and replace it with that. Put it on your fridge.
You don't want to see me looking
Oh,
like
you know
that.
what? I'm gonna have to do that now.
Oh my gosh.
Show and tell is always fun. I'm glad we started doing this.
I think it's a great part of the show.
Well, I'm one of the rare folks that like to watch podcasts because I like to see facial expressions. You can't really see it on a
with you.
podcast.
Same.
And so I'll sit down and that's like, I'll watch that instead of like Housewives or a Ken Burns documentary. It's either really dumb for me or really like intellectual and academia. There's no in between. And so I guess my in between is watching podcasts.
Yeah, you know what's cool? It's not out yet, and I think it's going to come out probably this week. But the latest one that has now been edited.
Okay.
Edited.
Oh yeah.
Is that the way you say it? The new editor for
Yeah.
our podcast did this amazing job with it.
He's got great ideas. Yeah.
Where when we're talking about the show and tell items, like the records, like you brought a Fat Boys record and like
Yeah.
a Dr. Dre one, right?
Yep.
House Calls, right? Was it the House Calls joint?
I don't even
right?
remember now.
The records you brought
Yeah.
when you would, I mean, of course you would
Okay.
display it, right?
Yeah.
But he also superimposed the record. There's an overlay, and then there's also all the information about the record, the title, the artist, and then the year it came out. It looks really cool.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
so I'm sure he'll do that for art for this episode.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for that one to come out.
Yeah, awesome. Because I don't even really remember what I just said about this Ram trilogy. I don't even know if I even said that. I definitely didn't say molten beat. So it's good to have someone like fill in the blanks when I'm just like, but there's 5 records in here. Look at guys, So that's great. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So Elijah will probably do some Googling and find that cover.
Yeah,
And
it's on
it'll be-
Spotify. I'm like, it can't be on Spotify. It's on Spotify. So
Molten Beats.
molten beats. Be careful. Hot lava.
Yeah. So probably our last question for today for you, Todd. Like now that you've been doing real estate and you're doing really well.
Thank you.
And I think it's
Awesome.
great. I mean, I think you're, at least from afar, and just my personal experience with you and you helping me find a home, you're really good at it. But are you glad that you're doing what you're doing and you're not grinding it out in a club anymore?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely,
I
man.
figured.
I still get to play a couple times a year. I'll have Andrew over at Concourse will be like, hey, we got so-and-so coming. Do you want a night out? Basically, do you want to play a warm-up set? And I'm all 8 out of 10 times. I'm like, yes. Like last year I played with Cascade. That was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're homies.
Yeah.
And then he has Seismic Music Festival. And so he has that 2 times a year. And they had like a local stage this past year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Which turned out to be a rockin' stage. It was a shop container that Red Bull had filled out into a DJ booth, but the doors all come open off the shipping container.
Yeah.
And it's like in the back in the corner and it opens up and there was probably 400 people around the thing.
Oh, tight.
So it was
Very
an
cool.
awesome
Nice.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played a sunset set. So now I can be like, if I'm doing something like that, I'm like, oh, I love that. Can I play at this time so I can go home and go to bed at a decent time?
Exactly.
And I don't have to get stuck raving. But the preparation for those, I spend as much time as I can, usually at least 2 to 3 week digging. And so every song for like a 2-hour set is a smasher, right?
Yeah.
There's no fill.
Yeah.
It's like every song is a home run because I've usually got at least 3 to 6 months of backlog of music. Just I don't play that much anymore.
Yeah.
So then when I play, it's fun. It's a night out. I get all the friends out. Call the sitters. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know, all my friends that still love good music and hang out. So I love that, but I don't love the time away from the boys to do all that digging. I don't love the hangover the next morning. I don't love. I miss it, but I don't miss it. I mean, I don't love it enough to go back and keep doing it.
Exactly.
And like the guys that are doing it now, like let them have it. I had my time. I have so many memories. Like I tell people all the time, it is going to take someone like a really favorite DJ of mine to get me out of the house to go and see again.
Yeah.
Life's different.
Yeah.
48 now, you know,
No, I-
25 years of music in Austin was a good run. It was fun. I fucking miss it though, because I love it when I'm there and I'm doing it. I'm in my element, and you can tell. Like I go back and looking at photos and stuff, and I'm always ear to ear and just having a great time. I love it. I love the music. I never stop buying music.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got this backlog of music. I can't even listen to it all anymore. And nowadays, there's so much music out there.
There's a lot to
And
sit
now
through
keep
now.
up. Yeah.
I mean, and now the websites Beatport and TrackSource will tell you, oh, you like this? Check these 20 guys out.
I know.
And then you're in this rabbit hole, and and then it's all good. It's all great music. So,
I kind of think like
enjoy
when
it.
there's an infinity amount of choices to make,
oh my gosh,
people are
insane.
paying for your rabbit hole
Yeah,
because you have like, I think each person, I think y'all are very intuitive. I could feel it, but like it's, like what rabbit hole to jump into and jump out. And so people can sense that and they're like, we'll pay you because no one really gets that curious in general. And so they're all kind of like, maybe more surface choices, but going into those, deeper layers is what I think people end up paying you for.
Yeah,
So,
it's a level of trust. They're like they're entrusting you to like present music in a way like showing yourself musically,
Yes,
right?
it is
They're,
you.
they're entrusting you to do that. Not only that, they're entrusting you to entertain them.
yeah.
Right. And I think for the most part, when I play, aside from the last early party where the girls were like giving me hell.
A plus though, A plus. You have an A plus.
Aside
No
from
one
the
would ever
four,
know.
aside from the four gals, that most of the people that were there, that's why they came in. They're like, okay, we're entrusting you to like present us music in a way that we can have fun and we can forget about things. And and you've done this before, so we trust you. So just do what you do.
Yeah.
Back to you, Todd. Like when you're doing it, DJing infrequently. When you're doing it so infrequently, when you're doing it, you're just excited about doing it. You're not burnt out. It's not work. You're just
new
like
again.
It's new again, and you're just
the music
excited
is
about
new. I still love it. Like I don't know, maybe in a former life I would have been a professional soccer player, then turned DJ, but that's not reality,
Right.
But it's just still so fun, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's why you do it. Both you guys, you
Yeah.
know, it's fun. I enjoy it. I miss the fuck out of it for sure.
Me too.
But it's just.
But it's good to play a couple times a year. Like I'm in the same
Yeah.
boat.
Totally.
I've always said
And-
that too. That
And the
like,
music is still kept sacred because I've
Sure.
had those residencies where I was playing. I think the only day I didn't have a residency was probably a Sunday night. I've had a residency on every single other
that's a
day
good
of the
night
week.
not to have one though. Sundays are hard.
Yeah, well, Mondays,
Yeah.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, but
That's true.
you start to
Mondays,
kind of
Tuesdays.
I never got to a point where I hated music, but I hated the top 20 over and over and over again. And I was gonna say like CeeLo Green, Crazy. I hate that song
Because it's just played so
because
many
at
times.
that time at Red Fez, High Low, the
Sure.
Peacock on the East Side, everybody wanted to hear that ad nauseum, and I'm like, I'd rather play JT 1,000 times, not Crazy. So it's just
Yeah,
kind of like
that's-
it keeps it sacred when you just do it a handful of times. But yeah.
I said I was gonna like when I was in my 30s. I was like, oh, I won't be a 40-year-old DJ in the club, and then I hit 40, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be the 50-year-old DJ in the club, and I'm 48,
Yeah.
and I still play
Yeah.
occasionally, and I might be that person. I'm fine with that.
But people
don't give a
who
fuck.
look like, wizards on a hill are DJing, and you're just
Yeah.
like, there's no ageism.
No.
I don't think there is.
Yeah,
and that seismic thing, I don't think anybody was over 30. These kids loved it.
Yeah.
They were foaming at the mouth. I was like, oh, this is great, because they never heard my style of house music.
Yeah.
And they were fucking giving me the candy bracelets, and I came up with decorations clipped to my head.
Nice.
I looked like a damn bozo.
Yeah.
Now the kids don't
very
give the
cute.
bracelets; they give these little stick-on candy thing.
Wow.
I came home with
What
I had them
culture.
all over me. They were on my glasses. They were my hair. Like Kimmy's like, "What
Yeah,
are you
that's
doing?"
re-
I'm like, "This is a thing."
Yeah,
I just rolled with it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
really cool.
It
Nice.
was cool. I inserted myself with them, and I'm very approachable on the decks. Like if I see people having a good time, half the breakdowns and songs, I'm going around there and dancing in the dance floor with them.
Yeah.
I've always done that. You know, it's just a way to connect. You know,
Absolutely.
And those kids ate that shit up. They couldn't believe I did that, because they're not used to guys doing that.
Yeah.
You know, but it was fun to see. To party with the kids, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a younger generation now. I'm
For sure.
getting older, so
Yeah.
to see the kids out there still raving like that, and they seem to be pretty safe. I'm sure there was things going on, but for the most part, it was just they were there for the music. It was
Yeah.
awesome. I had a great time.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't do that every year, but every couple of years,
Yeah.
be like, Andrew, I'm ready to do that again.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Give me
went-
that sunset set so I can be home by midnight.
Yeah, I once told a DJ, man, this was years ago when he was kind of at a crossroads. He was like, I don't know if I should be DJing anymore, and I don't know what I want to do with myself. And I just told him, hey, dude, you possess a skill a lot of people don't, because there's a lot of people that would want to DJ, and you could play any genre. And here's the thing. Dancing is never going to go out of style. Weddings are not going to go out of style, right? People are
true.
always going to get married. People are always going to want to dance. If you want to, you can DJ for the rest of your life, right? If you're good at it, it's never going to go out of style. And those things, dancing and getting married or DJing a special event, it's never going to go out of style.
No,
so I
no.
think that you could always have a career DJing. It
Absolutely.
just depends on what you want personally.
I know.
If you're, okay, I'm just tired of this, I don't want to do this, I get it.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to, you probably more than likely could.
Yeah. For sure. You just need to figure out what your balance is. Because, you know,
That's a
we
big
don't
one.
want to look at music as like the enemy in work. We want it to look at it as like something that inspires us, our muse of sorts. So we have to strike a balance, especially if you've logged in 20 years at least of DJing. You know, you're like, okay, what can I do that's going to up level me almost on a spiritual level with this DJing, but also making people happy. So you have to kind of reinvent the wheel almost like every 5 years. Like, what does this look like now?
Yeah. I will say this, like our mutual friends, Todd, our mutual friends, Rachel, they still want to go dance. Maybe not as often as like when we were like,
Yeah.
we were wilding out in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And everyone had their hoe phase.
Mom and Dad
I mean,
need a night out still.
yeah. They're always good. I mean, they're always going to want to come out occasionally.
Sure.
That's just never going to go out of style.
Totally,
Yeah.
especially in the city.
Yeah.
Especially when you're throwing that party, the early party.
Yeah, the
if you're
early
doing
party.
that, Kim and I are going. We've done it
Yeah.
with you, right? Like,
I know.
It's
I remember.
great.
I remember.
I've been there
was,
multiple
what,
times.
Was it you
Nice.
or was it Kim that said like she was just like she just loved it.
oh, it was perfect.
She just
We were
loved
home
it.
by 12
Yeah.
or maybe even 11. Shit, you're done at 10 on that one?
No, 11.
11. Okay, gotcha.
10.
No, it was a couple
Yeah.
drinks and, you know, feel good in the morning. It's
Yeah.
a great party, man.
I think she was DMing me. She's like, "When are you going to do the next one?"
Probably.
Yeah,
She probably had the
yeah.
girls going, "Hey, when are you going to
When's
see
the
Mel
next one?
again?"
And then I gave her the date. She's like, "Oh man, I got something going on that date." But anyways, I want to go again. I'm like, "Cool, just let me know." Like, I'm just extending this offer to you. If and when you and Kim want to go out, you just let me know, and you're on the
Absolutely,
list.
brother.
Always on the list.
Yeah, we'll pay. All
No,
good. I support
I
it.
know,
no,
right?
Like Rachel's always on the list. I want my friends to
Appreciate
be
that.
there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're big fans of DJ Mel.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I
Kimmy loves
appreciate
you.
it.
Absolutely, man.
I was telling some of our guests, I'm like, you know, perhaps on DJ Mel Day, which you're having a party, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at ACL Live. It's
Because
on
your DJ Mel Day is by the city as well, right?
yeah,
Yep.
June, it's like June 6th. Yeah.
Like June 6th?
Is it?
You should fucking know that. Sorry. Hold the clip. Cut the tape.
Mel, do you smoke weed? Like, what is going
He's
on?
just very
with you,
tired
dog?
today.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
I am very
just
tired.
having all the guests so far that we've had at the podcast.
Yeah, it's
celebrate and come to the party.
That's a
It's-
great
it-
reason to have a party.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Yeah.
June 6th, we'll do an early plug. We haven't even announced it, but June 6th is DJ Mel Day here in Austin, Texas.
that's amazing. Congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. And we will have, it'll be a Nasty's tribute party that day.
Okay.
There you go.
How perfect.
So we'll just kill two birds with one stone.
Yep.
Because everyone loves the Nasties thing. And Home Slice will be
was gonna say
there.
Home
And it'll
Slice,
be
yeah.
DJ Mel Day.
Yeah.
But before that, what's today's date? The 13th. The next early dance party, April 25th, if this podcast comes out before then, which I'm going to try my best.
Is there a May date that you could talk about?
No, we're taking a break in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to kind of
That's great.
take a step back, and then people will be excited about the June 6th one.
Yep.
But the next one's April 25th. It's on a Saturday. Folks, come out 7 to 11 p.m. Home Slice will be there.
Nice.
$18 day of show, $18 advance, I believe,
Okay.
and 7 to 11 p.m. Dance, drink, and go home early.
Great party.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
party.
Anyways, sorry for the shameless plug.
Speaking of plugs,
What?
anything you want to plug?
Yeah, let us know
Oh, man.
where we can find you online.
Yeah. So music stuff is mixcloud.com/Toddy B.
Okay.
Nice.
I've put up, I've done all kinds of mixes. I have a podcast that's the Toddcast.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I've
Damn,
done that
dog.
for a couple decades now. I don't have a lot of mixes up there because we didn't get into it, but hypersonic radio was 15 years of my life with Jason Jenkins. So all of our music went through hypersonic radio. So I didn't want to do my own thing as the Toddcast. So I
Sure.
only did a couple mixes on that. So I've kept those mixes up. I've got some recent ones up through COVID when everybody was doing bedroom sets. I
Yeah.
recorded a few of those, and then I recorded the Live from Cascade thing. I recorded the Seismic thing. So there's still a place to go for music, mixcloud.com/Toddy B. And then real estate stuff, just Google my name, Todd Bergener, but it's Toddy Bergener, at Toddy Bergener on IG, which is Burgener. People won't remember that, but and that kind of links to the link tree and all the things. So my name is also, you can search my name,
Yeah.
Todd Bergener.
Yeah.
That's my website, and that has links to everything, mostly real estate stuff now, but the music stuff is down in there. Or you can find my number in any gay bar bathroom, probably. So
I'll play that man Parish. I'll play this. I'll
That's
play
right.
this male stripper song. For
probably
you.
in the credits on that,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Do you ever send a mix to a person that you sold a house to, like as a
All the time.
as a
all the
present?
time.
Because you
Do
know how
they-
real estate agents give little presents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. People
Nice.
love that. And it's so funny when those two worlds collide.
Yeah.
Because I don't lead in with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be
this
weird.
lifestyle
Yeah.
that I used to have, they'd probably be like, we're going to go find somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
You know, from what I've been through. But they sometimes find out in the process, or they know me from music already.
Yeah.
But the ones that don't know me, and then they'll go look at like my IG or something, and they'll be like, so you used to be a DJ?
Yeah.
Because, you know, everybody was fun at one point.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of them that, and I go and I'm like, yeah, it's like a line now. Like, yeah, I'm retired, but in my
Yeah,
20s
exactly.
and early 30s, I ran around the streets of house music. Oh, house music. What's that? I'm like, here we go.
Oh,
You know?
interesting.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know what house music
music.
is. A lot of people
Oh.
just are so pigeonholed. Maybe they're just not educated about music, but
Oh, there are a lot of people that
They're just
are.
not
you know,
musical.
And
oh,
that-
they're
and
like,
that- and that's
you mean
okay.
techno?
Oh, dude, don't get me started on
Dude,
that.
same.
Don't get me, dude. Rach,
Same.
don't
He hates
even,
the T word.
dude.
I mean, in a different, in
No,
a
no, I-
specific
But that's
context.
like what I think we were talking earlier about that. Within techno is a genre, but then there's 17 subgenres of techno.
I will
right?
tell you this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this when I hit the stop button. But,
No problem.
Stop recording.
I could go on and on about that, but
Yeah, no, I love the gift of music though.
Yeah.
I constantly am giving music
It's a
out,
great
sharing
idea.
music,
Yeah.
sending it to friends. I'm on all kinds of group threads with friends that
There
are,
you
hey,
go.
look at this one that just came out, and like Kim and the wives, the best friends. I'm groups friends. friends with them on group text.
Yeah.
And we're always still sharing music, but I mean, music is a great gift. So
Yeah.
And there's so much of it out there again.
So much infinity.
There is so much.
Yeah, it's a blessing. I think music is great. My kids are into it. My kid's playing piano. He's like blowing me away. He wrote his first song. He's 10. It's beautiful.
That's
I'll
great.
show you here in a second. Yeah, but I was on my mom's knee playing piano, so
Okay.
it's been around my life
Okay.
from when I could walk. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was inevitable that it was going to get passed down for sure. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
kudos to you, man.
No, thanks, Todd.
Yeah.
I mean, I really appreciate it. Like,
Yeah, thanks to both of you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
having me.
thank
Just-
you.
It's great. I don't know if
Yeah.
we're winding down or what.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
really happy that you're here.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
know what I mean? I
appreciate
think
that.
every guest that we have here is a blessing.
Yeah.
Right?
Grateful. Super
honored
grateful.
to be in the
Super
list. I
grateful.
saw. I mean, obviously, I listened to the name, so
Yeah.
glad
So-
to fit in with some of Austin's finest.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're
you
all
guys got
just
some
some
hitters.
humble folks. Just we
Yeah.
keep chugging
I mean,
away.
We're in
yeah.
Austin. You have to be, right?
Yeah.
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 Friends and family, please follow the Sound of First online on IG at Sound of First, and follow, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Music, or not Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts or whatever. Toddy B, you are the man.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
it,
for
both
being on
of
the
you.
Sound of First.
Thanks
We
for doing the
appreciate
show.
you.
Yep.
Bye, y'all. Yeah.
Bye.